Monday, degenerates! I'm wearing the baby blues! That's right, we're coming off of a win! Your boy broke the streak. It's like 0.6 units. It's not even a full unit of victory. I don't care, all right? To quote Ricky Bobby, you're either first or you're last. It's a win or it's a loss, and a win is a win. It doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile. We won last week, okay? I absolutely took the coward's way out. I didn't trust my balls. I put them in my wife's purse very purposefully to keep them nice, safe, warm, and protected. And I did what I had to, okay? We got the dub. It was the tiniest of little itty-bittiest wins, but it's the start of something beautiful. If you don't plant the seed, you're never going to have a coconut tree, okay? That's just how it works. I didn't make the rules, God did. So we're playing by the rules, and we got the win. It's what we had to do. I'm proud to be here in front of you rocking my baby blues, and we are good to go. First things first, though. Even though I had a win, I do have a debt to pay because the one loss that we happen to have on the board, my guy Ethan Hershey challenged me to a shot bet last week. He took Rodriguez, and I was going with the all-powerful Brazilian lesbian with the neck tattoo betting angle, which, baby, we had plus 200, and it went to a split decision. Sal D'Amato hates me. Sal D'Amato hates. Now, it was a close fight. It was a competitive fight. I think Piero Rodriguez won the fight. Let me just be clear about that. However, if you're giving me plus 200 on a split, you guys know the policy. I will flip that coin any day, every day, and twice on Sundays. Regardless, congratulations, my boy Ethan. I owe you 2 shots. Here we go. That's one. Number 2 coming. Oh, it's been a minute since I had a drink. Okay. All right, that hit a little harder than it's supposed to. Here we go. Oh, you know when you lay off the alcohol for a bit, it really bites when you come back to it. Goodness gracious, that is strong. My liver is going to need a wake-up call in the morning. Whoo, baby. All right. Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Die Hard MMA podcast. We are coming off of a win, and we have a fresh dumpster to dive feet first into this week. Back in the Apex, UFC Vegas 109 to go ahead and break down and talk. What is up, everybody? We've already got almost 400 of you live watching across all platforms. Dick's Insider in the house. Employees must wash hands. My guy Dream. There's Ethan Hershey. What's up, grateful dude? Kane is here. Louis Mack Jr. is here. We've got the Ninja in the house. Dirty Reg, Lock Day, MMA. Everybody rolling in. Guys, get in the chat. Jump in here. Be part of the show. That's half the fun. We've got a recap to talk about. Yo, the Godfather, what's up? And we've got, wait a second. No Limit Mike. There we go. I figured it out. That's a lot of ones and I's in there, but I got it. I figured it out. No Limit Mike. What's up? So this fight card is going to be interesting to say the least. The smallest favorite on the board is minus 200. So we have either got a choke on Daddy Chalk this week or it'd be dog hunting season. So we'll leave that up to you. I've got a very special guest this evening because the guest is not one but two. We have the boys from Chronic Combat Conversations, a couple of my favorites. And just, you know, I always try to do what I can to be transparent with you guys. Peek behind the curtain here a little bit. I ditched them. I straight up ditched them. They invited me to come on their podcast, graciously asking me to come on and join them for a show. And life got in the way. You guys know I have just the most brutal schedule right now, especially with my grandparents and, not grandparents, grandfather, and everything that I'm dealing with, taking care of him and all that. And all that shit was kind of starting to unravel right when the boys decided to invite me to come on their podcast. And I have been trying to find an opportunity to repay the favor, apologize, and get them back right here to talk about fights with me ever since. And we finally got it done. But for right now, we've only got half of the show. All right. TB is MIA. All right. So we're going to start the show. We got none other than my boy Guru from Chronic Combat Conversations. TB will be joining us as soon as he is available. We'll get him caught up. Hopefully he's got some alcohol, but regardless, Guru buddy, how you doing tonight?
Wonderful, wonderful, Clint. Thanks so much for having me and inviting us. Listen, man, you've been a longtime supporter of our show, which goes live, by the way, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you guys want to hear some awesome breakdowns and make some money, we made 10 units last week tracked. So make sure you're checking us out. But seriously, Clint, you've been a supporter for a long time. I think this is our 5th year doing the show. I mean, you are an OG guest, and just family comes first, man. So prayers up to you and the fam. And, I feel like we're friends, like off the web. We haven't met in person, but I feel like we got that. Don't worry about it, dude. I really, really appreciate you even coming on and having me on. Just awesome stuff.
Well, I appreciate the hell out of you, man. You know that. And, that's kind of what makes it worse, though, right? Because that's where I'm like, friends keep their promises, right? Friends keep the appointments. But sometimes you're broke. Sometimes you don't got the $20 bill in your wallet and your buddy's got to cover dinner. You get them back, right? You hit them up at brunch. You get them back. You let them buy an extra mimosa. That's what we're doing. So I missed. My bad. We're bringing you boys on. We'll do a show. We'll have a good time, and we'll call it a day. It's good stuff, man. Hey, there's my guy Dan Levy in the chat saying smash the button. And I'm so happy to hear that you guys are coming off of a big win. I was watching the results. I end up looking like a creeper, I know, with all my guests, but like if you're the previous week's guest or if you're the next week's guest, I'm always like, all right, how they doing? Like I'm following everybody on Twitter. So I was very pleased to see you guys had a good weekend. Talk to me about it, man. Flex a little bit. How'd last week's card go for you guys?
Honestly, it went very, very well. I feel like where we excel as a podcast, because we are not professional gamblers. We are not we don't train in MMA. We are just big fans, just like everybody here in the chat. We come from very humble beginnings in that regard. So I feel like where we excel is simply the breakdown. A can happen or B can happen. And here's some props that we think can make you some money for a very limited investment. However, last week we went 3 for 3 on money line bets and killed it in terms of the props as well. Let me see. Hang on. I got the picture right here. I'll tell you guys exactly what we bet. So we had Carol Hosa when the line kind of crashed back down. So we played her minus 150. Like
nice buy low spot.
I mean,
man.
yeah. I mean, crazy line there. We were all over Neil Magny and all over Neil Magny early. So
beautiful.
We played 2.5 units there on Neil Magny at plus 180. So fight day, he's like plus 130, plus 125. Like line completely exploded. And we got the fight that we exactly expected, right? We thought that Magny would be able to wear on him in the clinch. And we thought that, if anything, both guys have showed durability concerns. I feel like everybody was just focused on the Magny durability concerns. And then the last bet we had was Andre Pulyev, who we played at minus 122. And again, the line ballooned up. Kind of a back and forth fight, maybe a little in the beginning, but honestly, Pulyev showed his striking prowess, hurt him to the body. I mean, that was incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Some of our best, we had a parlay as well, which we try not to do too much of, but we had to this week. We played Pierre Rodriguez, Kevin Vallejo, and Tatsuro Taira. So
beautiful.
Plus 127, right? Clean, a unit. Really didn't sweat any of them at all, ever. So like that's rare.
Yeah.
And then right. And then you see you ever see the South Park episode where Randy puts his balls in the microwave and he's hopping around on his balls?
Absolutely. That's a classic, man.
So that's
got a scrote coat.
That's where we were at. Not only did we play Fight Goes the Distance at plus 115 on Ribovics and Brenner,
Beautiful.
but we played Fight Goes the Distance at plus 160 on Duncan and Rebeski. So
Wow.
I didn't hear anybody talking about Fight Going the Distance in either of those fights. That was a play we were all over.
Beautiful.
And then we
All
put
right.
and Tatsuro Taira in the distance, not to drag this out way longer than it needs to be.
No, man. Take the victory lap while you got it. I mean, that's the thing. I would love to be bragging over here. I went 1-1 on the night, right? I just took money line shots. I had the Ketlin Souza money line shot at plus 200. Always hoping Uncle Sal will bounce the right way for me. Never seems to, though. So, took the L there. And then my big bet for the night was simply the inside the distance prop on our guy, Austin Bashi. So, real early night for me. And it's disappointing, man, because this always seems to happen. I would have hit everything. I would have hit absolutely everything. I talked about Rodolfo Vieira was someone I thought I wanted to parlay, held off on that one. I talked to, what a rough fight from Gore. Absolutely brutal. I talked about overs, man. Danny Silva and Vallejos, the 2.5. Brenner and Ribovics, actually, I was a coward. I didn't do it, but I talked about betting the over on that one as well. I talked about Tatsuro Taira. I talked about his money line. I talked about him inside the distance. I said it's never Carol Hossa. She burns me every time she's a favorite. But at the same time, I acknowledged she was going to win by decision. Stupidest thing you've ever seen. That money line crash. Her money line was minus 155 at one point when the decision prop was still sitting at minus 150. They just never moved it. So hilarious that they knew for a fact she would just never get a finish. She damn near got a 10-7 round and she still went to decision. Like that's just Carol Hossa apparently. And then Neil Magny was the one that, man, I was right there. I talked about it. I said I was going to bet him live. Both Magny and Duncan, I said I was going to look at potentially betting live, but I was up a half unit. It's been so long since I've seen a green check mark next to my name that I went, if I live bet Magny after round 1 and I end up down a half unit instead of up a half unit, I will never forgive myself. So I took the coward's way out and I kept my hands in my pockets. But the thing I'll take away from it, though, is that the old brain is right in position where we need it to be. The reads are sharp. The reads are good. Going home with the dub next to my name, man, small or not, I'm just going to take it.
Nothing cowardly about being up money at the end of the night. Right? Absolutely nothing.
I'll take it.
What we've come to learn as we've been, and this is impressive stuff. We track about 400 units a year. We are break even. Do you know how difficult that is? Like consistently year after year, not up, not down, break even. Like that, it's been really crazy. So what I think we've really started to do is really trying to weed out and thin out some of our bets. Like, do we have to play this? Do we need this? Are we sure? Is the price right? Like all of these different things. Like honestly, shout out Dan Levy, who was in here earlier, like just kind of slimming down the scale of how much exposure you have.
We're doing the same thing, man. That's exactly what I did this week, and that's what I'm looking at trying to do to get on a little bit of a winning streak here. Yeah, I was spazzing out, man. I was firing everything left and right. The anchor bet with Kevin Holland. I mean, like, I couldn't get right. So I'm like, all right, back to basics. You know what I mean? Like, apparently I'm tripping all over myself. I got to learn how to walk again, man. So we'll break all these fights down for you guys. We're going to start at the bottom. We'll head on to the top, and we're going to talk about every single fight on this card. As of yet, I don't have any action locked in just yet, but I'm sure that will change. Guru, buddy, I'm going to throw you a curveball right out the gates, and he is partaking early. You love to see it. Everybody give me some weed emojis in the chat. Give me some plant emojis in the chat here. Like the show, share the show, make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you're following Chronic Combat Conversations, my guys, as well. But the curveball that I'm speaking on here, Guru, is just before we got rolling, we've got a last-second fight announcement from our boy Marcel. Cody Brundage is going to take on Eryk McConico this weekend, UFC Vegas 109. If this fight card was not enough of a dumpster. We got a brand new fight. There's no lines out yet. This broke just a couple minutes ago, people. So you're getting absolutely first response reactions. And Guru, I got to tell you, I'm very happy to have this opportunity because I made a video. I talked about Cody Brundage, and I talked about how he's got the weirdest and potentially worst record currently in the UFC of any active UFC fighter right now, just because of all the DQs and the no contests and the fact that his last fight was actually overturned. He won the appeal regarding the eye poke situation that led to the technical decision, and that is now another no contest on his record. So he's got this really incredible, really weird. You know what? I'm talking about it. Let me pull it up for you guys because he is listed as 11-6.
He was right too. Like, I don't know, when we were watching that live, I swear I had no idea why they decided to score the third round after, I don't know, what was it, like a minute of it had gone by, maybe less.
Yeah.
Like, it made no sense. It's like, no, you just score the first two. It would have been a draw. He won round one.
It would have been a draw. So, I mean, and again, that's where, like I said, I love having this opportunity here, man, because I agree with you. He was correct. I'm glad they did it. At this point, it's just insane, though. His last 5 fights, his record is 2-1-2 because he has the TKO win over Zach Reese, the submission loss to Bo Nickel, the no contest against Abdul Razak Al Hassan, the win over Julian Marquez, and now the overturned decision against Mansour Abdul Malik, which becomes a no contest draw after that decision.
He has maybe the weirdest and wildest UFC run, but if you want to talk the worst UFC run, you actually don't have to look very far. This is a serious question to the chat and to you, Clint. Is there a worse UFC fighter on the roster, record-wise, right, than Julius Stoliarenko? She's 2-6 in the UFC. 2-6.
You know, you're probably right. We'll talk about that one in just a minute. We'll get to that one in just a minute. But man, as far as this fight goes, and again, you guys, brand new, just got put together, so no tape study, no nothing. You're just getting raw thoughts from your boy Clint here, right off the top of the dome. Cody is somebody who I think people don't understand. He actually is big for the weight class. He's very physical. He's very powerful. When he unloads, he can crack. He's got a decent squeeze on him. He can grapple. It's a levels thing. He's not a high-end guy, but he's also not the basement guy that people make him out to be. So this is where he's going to get these peaks and these valleys. Every time they throw him against a legit fighter, Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, Rodolfo Vieira, Bo Nickel, he's going to lose those fights, guys. He's going to lose those. But when you put him in there against somebody who is anywhere near his ballpark, there's a very real chance that he will just smash them. You know, Zach Reese in round 1, he's so physical. He picked that guy up over his head, Rampage style, and slammed him through the canvas. The Julian Marquez fight. Now, that one was a little weird because the ref stepped in, gave him a second to catch his breath. He hit the reset button, but you can't fake a right hand, man. Like, he put Julian Marquez out. He put that man 6 feet under. Now they're giving him an opponent who is on his level. Actually, you know, I'm gonna rephrase this. An opponent who is below his level. Eryk McConico is one of these guys who we see get signed by the UFC because they're friends of somebody. He's from the MMA lab. He got brought into the UFC on short notice against Nursultan Fraud Zaboev, and he got knocked out in round 2. He did nothing in that fight. He didn't look good in that fight. He's got 3 losses, and they're all by KO. So, like, this is a guy who, frankly, I think Cody Brundage can beat. It might be Cody Brundage season, man. What do you think of this one, just off the top?
Honestly, what I'm hoping and what I would imagine is that I feel like Cody's going to be an underdog here. So I'm hoping.
I'm hoping for pick'em. I'm just hoping for pick'em.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. Eryk McConico, right? What his big thing, right, is that he's been knocked out 3 times and he's 35 years old. So, you know, I don't know why I picked him versus. I mean, I know why I picked him versus Zaboev. I took a shot on a steep money line where I thought that, hey, if this guy has half a brain, he's going to wrestle. he wasn't really able to and didn't try much. So bad bet and maybe not the smartest fighter in terms of fight IQ. So I do find myself on the Cody Brundage side if I'm anywhere in this fight, maybe just violence in general. But I did bet Cody Brundage against Julian Marquez. So that was exciting and nerve-wracking.
Yeah. That one, man, I can't believe that fight. Well, plug your nose, guys. Make your picks. Go to war if you want to. I want to wait and see the number. Yeah, Dixon says Brundage at chalk in 2025. What is the world coming to? I mean, that would be just like me to fall into old habits and go straight on back to Cody Brundage at like minus 155 or some shit. But I think he can beat this guy, man. I really do. So I think the bar gets lowered unnaturally on Cody. So when he fights these lower end guys like Zach Reese, people expect him to get smashed. And the fact is those guys are at his level and below his level. And so he'll find a way to win. So I think this could be a fade the market, buy low on Brundage. Everyone was so high on McConico for really no reason, man. I am king of fading Fradzaboev, right? Like I want to be on the other side of him. I smashed him that night. I was like, I don't know what people are doing. This McConico guy doesn't have anything for him. So like, yeah, man, I think this might be a Cody Brundage opportunity, assuming we get a playable line. Let's just wait and see. But the first fight of the night, guys, that we have documented now here for you, I don't know where that one's going to fall on the card. We have Gabriella Fernandes and the aforementioned Julija Stoliarenko. Gabby, man, Guru, Gabby's been on an absolute tear lately. I mean, 10-3, 31 years old. She's in her prime. I think she's training out of MMA Masters. She's 2-2 in her last 4, but the 2 are the ones that come recently, right? She's got a split decision win over Carly Judice, which frankly, like that's aging like fine wine. That's a good win. And then she clubbed and subbed Kong Wang, who I know has been like a little bit of a disappointment, but the amount of hype, the amount of experience, like that's a good win to have under your belt as well. And then you look back at the losses. Teresa Bleda and Jasmine Jasudavicius. Jazz is knocking on the door, man. Jazz might be getting a title opportunity. Jazz is fighting contenders out here these days. Teresa Bleda, she's 7-1. The only person she's lost to is my girl Nat Silva. Like this girl is legit. So it seems like these power wrestler types give her a little bit of a problem. But anybody else who can't match her physicality, they seem to be real in trouble against Gabriella Fernandes. And Julija Stoliarenko, my friend, is not a power wrestler. She is 11-8-1. Like you mentioned, maybe the worst record in the UFC currently right now. She is armbar or bust. She is the queen of the armbar. She's got some of the fastest hips I've ever seen. Since she's dropped down a weight class, I thought she was maybe going to be effective at 125 pounds, just kind of bullying people around the cage, forcing the grappling transitions, and then snatching that armbar. That hasn't really worked out. She armbarred Molly McCann, and then after that, she got my girl Luana Dread Carolina, who apparently drilled her armbar defense very, very well. Ends up TKOing her in the 3rd round because that's really the thing with Stoliarenko. If she can't get you out of there early with that armbar, she's done. She doesn't have a great gas tank. The other skills aren't where they need to be for her to get the win. So she just kind of gets pieced apart. I mean, this is meme finish or bust. Gabriella Fernandes, in my opinion, is like 99% here. Like, I don't see how you're catching a Brazilian with that kind of an armbar early in the fight. So if she's not getting caught with the armbar early, Gabby's going to smash her face in, man. I don't know if it's a head kick. I don't know if it's ground and pound. Like the ref might just save her. She could quit on the stool. I got to see if she'll even make weight, for God's sake. She's been having so much trouble getting down to 125 pounds. Do you remember the shoulder brush moment the first time she ever made weight where it looked like she was about to collapse on the scale? Like, she's not built for this weight class, man. Like we can't trust her. Gabby smash. Gabby inside the
wasn't she one of the ones that like fainted and like hit the curtain one time?
Yes.
I remember that.
She lost it on the scale. She was like viciously shaking. I think it was her first weight cut to 125. She was like vibrating on the scale and then just passed the fuck out. So yeah, you've always got to watch her on the scales. And when these fighters get their walking papers, it seems like they're willing to cheat that last fight, man. I wouldn't be shocked if she comes in at like 130 or something like that for this one and just says, fuck it, because she knows it's the end of the road. She might as well take the advantage. I would put money on it that she misses weight this weekend.
Wow, that's an interesting thought. It's very, very possible. When you're looking at this fight, though, and again, we talk in hyperbole a lot when we break down MMA. Oh, this guy's got to win by knockout. This guy's got to win by submission, right? This chick has 10 submission wins, okay? 10 of them are in round 1, and 10 of them are arm bars. Like, that is how she does it. And who she beat is, again, Molly McCann, who has no submission defense, and Jessica Rose Clark, who had gotten back-to-back armbarred and then let go of the UFC. So, like, just simply boxing and whatever the fuck she's doing. So it wasn't training MMA. And you, Clinton, you're exactly right about Gabriella Fernandes. I feel like we've had a really solid read on her. Betting Jasmine Jasdivisius at plus money against her in her debut. I mean, amazing. And then the Kong Wang fight was absolutely crazy. I mean, she's a plus 625 dog. Honestly, though, I mean, if that fight happens 10 times, is that how it ends? Like, often? I don't really think so.
Probably
but
not.
Hey, this is the universe that we live in. And, this is the reality that we live in. And in this reality, she won by second round rear naked choke. So that's it. This is an easy setup. I mean, look at, you actually already mentioned it. This is the worst fighter that she's faced yet. Why would they be doing that? Because they would love to have a fighter on a 3-fight win streak that looks talented from a foreign nation and you can continue to promote and build. So, do I love minus 500? No. Is she fine? Yep, absolutely. It's really just like, how do you want to bet this fight and where the lines are? I haven't necessarily looked, but I mean, I'm not against violence in this spot. Like, if an under is crazy plus money for some reason. At the same time, if they're gonna line it like it's a men's heavyweight and they're gonna make an under 1.5 at minus money, then be happy to go the other way.
Yeah, so. Dude, fight doesn't go the distance. Opened up at Bet Online at minus 220. Which
fight doesn't go right, exactly. So
I think that's fair, man.
I'm a fade the narrative. I mean, I'd almost rather go the other way. They're still chicks. Like, they could still, I don't know, just clinch or just not simply finish. But
man,
the truth is that Stoliarenko gets finished in a lot of her fights. So
that's the thing. If she doesn't get that armbar, she usually folds it up and goes home. So that's, man, I will just buy straight in, man. I've seen Gabby knock out someone the level of Kong Wang, who's a professional kickboxer before she went to MMA, who's gone the full distance with someone like Shevchenko. Like, that's not an easy person to knock out. So if you're giving me a girl whose armbar or bust gasses and then goes home when she can't play, like, give me an under. It's cheaper than Gabby's money line.
I kind of would rather go like a Gabby 2-3 KO spot, because I don't think it happens in round 1, and I don't really have any interest in exposure in Stoliarenko. And I'd rather, again, take a much smaller shot on that KO 2-3, and when it goes the distance hilariously, be like, okay, whatever, lost a quarter unit, who cares? No big deal.
Fair enough, man. Hey, real quick, shout out my boy Porco Rosso in the chat with not 1, not 2, 3 donos, my friend. Thank you for the super stickers. We got the $2.99, the $1.99, and the biggie with the $5.99. Porco, you are absolutely the man, my friend. You know what? That deserves a shot. We already are in for 2. So if Porco is going to be throwing donations around, we might as well repay him for the generosity. So thank you for supporting, my friend.
All right, I'll respond to what I've got in front of me. Hold up.
We have limited fuel this evening, guys, so it's not going to, like, I could probably, I haven't had dinner yet, so I could probably get drunk on that, but Fireball still hasn't sent the sponsorship in, man. I don't know what I got to do at this point. But I have an exciting announcement, because not only did we get the donation from our boy Porco Rosso, but we got an early entry from the other half of our panel here. TB rolling in the other half of Chronic Combat Conversations. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Is that TB Scouting MMA's music? He made it. So thankful to be on the show. Absolutely awesome. We've been following you forever. Happy to make it back here, and we can't wait to have you back on our show, man. Thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely, man. You're gonna have to go back and replay like the first 10 minutes of the show, because I told everybody about how I ditched you guys, and that's why I was like, I've been feeling bad for a long time because I had to call out on the show. So I'm glad we get to break one down here. We got to get you caught up real quick though, man.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I don't know if you're privy, but apparently Cody Brundage is fighting this weekend.
Yes.
So got to get your thoughts, and then you can tell us about Julija Stoliarenko. Get the people caught up on your opinions.
Beautiful. All right. It'll be pretty short and sweet for everybody here. The most work I put into the first fight were the nicknames. It's, yep, we're in the building.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Are you giving the people an exclusive look
Yes.
at the nickname segment of our show?
Why, yes, I am.
Wow.
I'm so glad you guys tuned in, because for the first fight, it's Cody. Watch the back of the head, Brundage versus versus Eryk, Professor McConico. So yeah, I think
I do like Harry Potter, but
yeah, McConico. Come on, it goes together.
It works. I like it.
He's the professor. So thank you, Grateful Dude. We appreciate you. And here's the thing. In this matchup, there's two ways it could play out. I think Cody could come out, overwhelm McConico early if he's going to do what he did in the Nurselton fight, just low volume, stand at range, and wait for things to happen. It might not go so well. If we see the proactive grappling and we get any sort of top time, I wouldn't be surprised if Cody just gets out of there. So I'm very interested to see where the line ends up. But McConico, southpaw, patient. He gets knocked out by these guys with longer reach, but the Maki Pitolo fight where he was the bigger guy, I'm curious, haven't looked at their metrics, saw that the fight was posted on my way home from work. Guru let me know. We made it, but hey, I think there could be some McConico action if the price is in the +2 or higher range.
Oh, Cody, they're never giving you Cody minus.
I don't know though. I don't
300,
know.
man.
I'm excited to see where it'll be at, because
I think it's gonna be pick 'em, and they're gonna let the market decide.
In that case, it's probably Cody. All right.
Fair
But
enough.
in that case, I'm passing. I'm not taking anything on that one.
That's also fair enough. All right, man. So the first other fight that we all actually, did our research for and stuff like that, we had the women's MMA fight between Gabriella Fernandes and Julija Stoliarenko. We already broke it down. What do you think of this one?
Gabby, early finish, dark and stormy, Stoliarenko. Things are going to be looking pretty bad for her. So
Early finish. I like the 2-3 KO.
She's going to finish her at some point. And you don't know if it's going to be in round one, man. If Stoli doesn't get the arm bar, she has zero defense on the feet. She has zero game from bottom unless she's snatching up an arm bar. Gabby, you said this is a women's fight? Bro, Gabby is kind of nasty like that. So, like, she has a different physique.
No.
She hits with a different power, and she's got real squeeze on her finishing.
Wow.
I'll take Gabby inside the distance just like that. That'll be fun.
I like it. TV and I are linking up early here.
You're gonna need more. She's minus 650. Her inside the distance is gonna be 300. So what else you got?
So in that case,
You got to slice the pie more.
You got to slice the pie more. It's gonna be a knockout most likely.
Okay, there you go. That's helpful.
Yeah, I think she pounds her out.
Okay. All right. We all like it when they get pounded out. All right, everybody hit that like button. We've already got 700 live viewers, and we are 3 shots deep. Also a couple of hits. It's going to be that kind of a night, everybody. Hit that like button. And the wine. We are rounding out the triple crown of getting wasted on this show this evening. Let's freaking go. Next up, we've got Uros Medic, and he takes on Gilbert Urbina. What a fight, boys. What a fight. So Uros Medic, a former 155er, a veteran of Alaska FC, and you can take the fighter out of Alaska FC, but you can never take the Alaska FC out of the fighter. This man is a walking meme. He still has never seen the judges' scorecards at 32 years old. Win or lose, his fights end inside the distance always. He's 2-2 in his last 4. He got the late TKO against Matthew Simmelsberger after getting dropped multiple times in that fight. Guys, I have beef. The UFC statisticians, they don't know what they're doing. He got dropped twice by Matt Simmelsberger in the first round. It only says 1 knockdown, but there were 2 if you go back and you rewatch that fight. He gets owned by my boy Mikbek Orolbai, and then he destroyed the geriatric Tim Means in round 1, which sad times for all of us. Puna came back and got it done, 30-second KO. Like, I don't think Uros belongs in a extended UFC fight. I'm not sure he belongs at 170. I'm not sure he belongs in the UFC. He's got the kind of offense and power that will get it done against mid to low tier guys. You got to look at his run, man. Elon Cruz, Matt Simmelsberger, Cut, Tim Means, retirement age. His only good win was Omar Morales, and that was when Omar had kind of folded up shop, right? Like, that was the one where we knew it was done for Omar Morales. Now, Gilbert Urbina is a legacy fighter, right? We all know the Urbina brothers. It's been a thing in the UFC. He's by far the best of them, and he's still not very good. 29 years old, training out of Jackson Wink MMA, and he is also 2-2 in his last 4, except only 3 of those were in the UFC, and the only win he's got is coming over Orion Kosi. I actually like the front kicks from Gilbert Urbina. I like the way he attacks the body, but he is so predictable. He likes to skate on the outside. Charles Radke just walked him into a corner and left hook Larry'd him to hell. Like, it was not a hard fight for Charles Radke. And frankly, Gilbert Urbina doesn't seem to respond well to taking damage. I know Brian Battle was up a weight class, and he actually connected and had Brian Battle kind of wobbled early in that fight. But as soon as Brian Battle decided to take the fight seriously, it was wraps. He got him out of there in round 2 with a rear naked choke relatively easily. This is extremely low level in my eyes, guys. And this is extremely volatile in my eyes as well. So we have currently got, and you guys are going to hear this all night, the favorites are massive. The chalk on this card is insane. There's not a single fighter under -200 for us to take a look at betting. So you're going to have to either chalk up on somebody who you don't trust, or you're going to have to hold your nose and take a dog shot. That's just the way this thing's shaping up. Uros Medic -450. That makes me want to throw up in my mouth just a little bit. But at the same time, I just think the speed is going to be too much. Urbina is slow and he's predictable. I do think Uros cracks this guy and gets him out of there. So I'll say Uros by knockout, but man, -450 is gross. TB, let's let you start this one off since Guru was here for the last one.
Yeah, somebody call a doctor. Gilbert's going to need it. I think, there's a lot of things you can talk about with, Gilbert has the height, he has the reach advantage. But something me and Guru have been talking about a lot is, do they know how to use it? And I think he's just a little uncomfortable defensively. Like, if things are going his way and he's the more physical fighter without any real danger or damage coming back his way, Gilbert can effectively wrestle. He's got solid enough grappling. He can even put together a combo or two. It's just when there's a threat of anything coming back his direction, it kind of just goes off the rails. And his chin does not hold up well. He doesn't react well to shots. I truly think Medic is going to knock him out. But the downside is this could be like Junior Tafa versus Tuco Tokos type of vibes, where like Medic, I know he's worked on it, but a few takedowns and it might not look like he's actually worked on it that much, because I can only imagine how demoralizing it would be to get wrestled by the RGV bad boy for an extended period of time. And that's where, like, it has to be Medic by knockout. If this fight takes place on the feet for an extended period, he's going to win that way. I'm just terrified if he gets taken down, and that's why he won't be in any type of parlay. But I will find a way to play like a round 1, round 2 knockout, Uros in under 1.5. The price has got to be right. We got to find Bob Barker, but ultimately, I'm looking to get that type of angle.
Okay, fair enough. And speaking of which, The Price is Wrong, bitch. I watched Happy Gilmore 2 the other night. Fantastic movie. If you guys haven't seen it, enjoy it. It's a good follow-up. Guru, what you got, buddy?
I'm actually really excited to watch that. I meant to watch it this weekend and just didn't for some reason. So I'm definitely going to watch it this weekend.
It's worth it. It's a good one.
So I'm going to try to speak some reason here. And like, again, you guys are right. Like, again, Uros Medic is probably knocking him out. And I would imagine he's going to do it in round 1 or round 2. So that would be my prop there. It's just what's been going on with Uros. He got knocked out in 30 seconds by Punahele Soriano. And he pulls out versus Chaos Williams 2 months ago. Anybody have any idea what's going on over there? Did he have an injury? What's going on? So there's like a lot of question marks for me in that regard. and he's been finished in all 3 of his losses. So just when you have those type of factors, it makes you I don't care what the price, like when you're minus 350, you're prohibitive favorite. I cannot touch you. So I will not be touching Uros Medic. Guys, do not parlay him. I don't care how automatic you think he is. I'm concerned. So yeah, he probably wins round 1 knockout by Uros Medic, but like at plus 350, Gilbert Urbina is interesting. Just from a hold your nose, cover your eyes, and throw money at it. Because it right, what was the card 2 cards ago? It was 4 dogs on the undercard, on the main card, and every single one of them theoretically made sense, right? So it's just like, do you just build too much into the narrative that the betting market sets forth for you, or is there something else there?
Okay. Interesting. I like it. It's going to be a smash spot. Uros, hopefully it's that easy. We'll see. But you're right, man. The dogs have been barking lately. Jeff, saying that's the first time I've heard anybody say anything good about that movie. Bro, it's a shut your brain off movie. It's like watching Pacific Rim. I want to watch monsters and robots punch each other in the face. You're not looking for anything groundbreaking. It's Happy Gilmore. Go enjoy. Just chill and hang out. Dad Bod, what's going on, buddy? Glad you made it live. Thank you very much for being here. All right, guys, next fight up, we've got Joselyne Edwards taking on my girl, Zombie Girl, Priscila Cachoeira. And we know the script is out for Zombie Girl. Unfortunately, man, it's all about the grappling. It's all about the giant Achilles heel of taking her down and just rinsing her on the mat. To this day, she still has no answers. And I have only just barely forgiven her for almost blinding Jillian Robertson. Now that I think about it, though, I mean, I might actually have a shot with Jillian if she was blind in one eye. So maybe I should be thanking her instead of, getting on her about trying to eye poke my girl. But yeah, that's really been the issue with her, man. She is vicious. She is brutal. She's got ungodly power for this weight class, which is fun to watch. I couldn't believe that she was an underdog in her last fight. They gave me plus money to fade Joselyne Nunez, the shortest fighter in the weight class, and she got handled by my girl. It was beautiful. It was one of my most fun cashes in a long time, man. This is a struggle, though, because the way this card is built. You've got Joselyne Edwards, who's a minus 300 favorite. Priscila Cachoeira is a plus 250 dog. And frankly, that's where you want her. You want the plus money. You want that dog shot because she is the type of fighter who will go to the ends of the earth for your bet, for your money. Like I said, she literally eye gouged a girl to try to get the win. But she will not work on her wrestling skill set. So that's kind of the issue. Joselyne Edwards has been improving in her wrestling skill set. She's been working on her grappling. And frankly, she's been using it to phenomenal results in her last couple of fights. It's been kind of special to see what Joselyne Edwards has been capable of her last couple. 29 years old. Tamaris Vidal and Chelsea Chandler, back-to-back fights. She got the win. But man, I've talked about how I've struggled with Joselyne Edwards since she got into the UFC. Every time she goes to a split decision, I'm on the wrong side of it. It seems like when she wins, she loses. But when she loses, they gift her the victory. Like those splits just never seem right to me. She also struggles with her weight. She seems to have gotten it under control. But I mean, in 3 of her last, 6 fights, she's missed weight. So she's a bully in there, man. Against good, solid competition, Aileen Perez, Nora Cornell, like she can't quite seem to get it done. You give her kind of the dregs of the division, the Chelsea Chandlers, the Lucy Pudilovas. Those are the fighters that she's beating. And while she's been using that grappling, I watched back like the Tamaris Vidal fight. And Tamaris is exhausted after 2 minutes of striking. She's got nothing left after 2 minutes of walking around in the cage. So it was no shock to me. I actually did bet on Edwards that night. It was no shock to me that she ended up choking her out deep in that fight because she just got exhausted. But we see that Joselyne Edwards doesn't have like a slick single leg, right? She's not swooping in there and styling on people, and she's got a quick back take, but she was picking up somebody like Tamaris Vidal. with the body lock and like chucking her to the ground. And then she's got these big stone heavy hips that she just kind of sits on you and tries to hold that position. I don't know if that's going to be enough against Priscila. Priscilla's so big. She's so physical. Good luck picking her up. Like, seriously, if she gets taken down, it's a problem. Don't get me wrong. But good luck getting her down when that's your style of takedowns. This is the one for me, man. I know a lot of people are just going to have no issues throwing Joselyne Edwards into a parlay, but she has let me down as a big favorite many times in the past. So like you look at, let me see here. She was even money against Nora. Didn't get that one done. I guess she was an underdog in the other spots, but man, I just don't trust her. I just don't trust her. When she was a minus 135 favorite against you and Kim was as close as it gets. Like this will be the most chalk she has ever been in her entire UFC career. She's never been a minus. I guess she was a minus 200 favorite in her last fight against Chelsea. That's the only time. So this is new territory for her, being a big favorite. Man, I know the grappling. I'm rambling here. I know the grappling is the issue for my girl, Priscila Cachoeira, but I think the power difference is stark. And if you go back and you watch the Edwards fights, she gets lit up on the feet. It's just that nobody's actually able to do anything to her. Like against Tamaris Vidal specifically, she was actually getting like landed on with her big clubbing overhands that took a million years to wind up and chuck. She still got hit by those. Like she doesn't have good defense. And if you're taking those kind of shots from Priscila, could be a short night. So, man, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it, but like it's dog or pass for me. I actually think Priscila might be live in this spot, and I will never be caught dead parlaying minus 300 Joselyne Edwards. Guru, what do you think of this fight?
I will be caught dead parlaying Miss Joselyne Edwards. I mean, when has she even shown like that she's been hurt? Like she's tough as nails, and she's thick and she's strong. I don't think Priscila can do shit to her. I really don't. And I think Edwards is the better striker. She's a great kickboxer. I think she's going to be way stronger in the clinch, and Cachoeira is going to look like a noodle. And then if it goes to the ground, I think she's shown that she's fucked. So like Edwards has actually shown the wrinkle in her game with the wrestling. Like I think Edwards is like a legitimate. She's also only 29, guys. Priscila Cachoeira is 36. She's going to smash her. Edwards is about as safe as you can get on this crazy ass card, because like Priscila Cachoeira is the type to be an underdog to Joselyne Nunes and have people thinking she can win a fight.
How wrong was that, though? Can we just appreciate
wrong.
how wrong that was?
Hilarious. And of course I was on Nunes. I thought, oh, she could knock her out. She could clinch her up. She couldn't do anything. She's the Oompa Loompa. But that's her issue, and I suppose mine. But we can make it back here. Put your house on Joselyne Edwards.
Okay, we got a house call. TV.
Yeah, so here's what I say, like what makes Edwards kind of stand out from the striking perspective. It's she has a higher output actually, and a lot of it comes from kicking range. She does have a couple like an inch height, but she has like a 5-inch reach advantage. She will be able to land more kicks at distance, whereas Cachoeira needs to get in the pocket and swing in combination. Edwards, I don't trust her necessarily as like a precise counter striker, but at the same time, she does have the clinch in her back pocket if she needs it. Cachoeira knockout is probably her win path, for sure. But I would not take her to win a decision. Her defense is actually horrific. That's one of the reasons I can't even steal the nickname. But shout out to what is it, Brady and some of those guys. It's like Priscila Catch a Beating is that nickname for a reason. It's her.
I think Paul Shaughnessy is the one who came up with that. Credit to Paul Shag.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Because I didn't know where to properly appropriate it, but the truth in the matter is she has that nickname for a reason. And it's not just, the Shevchenko fight. She's a mess. She looks like a zombie in a lot of fights. And Edwards, her kryptonite is also being taken down and controlled. So now she finally gets another pure striking match in her favor. Height, reach, youth. I'll take Edwards, but that doesn't mean there's no maxing out. There's probably one parlay of the week. She can find her way into it. But nothing is a 5-unit play here. Nothing is in. Oh, come on, Dixon. But yeah, so ultimately the pick is Edwards. The prop is difficult because Cachoeira is going to eat a lot of damage, but I mostly think Edwards actually ends up. And if she does get control, I don't think she's finding a finish on the mat. I think it's probably a decision for Edwards. But the price, can't imagine it's attractive.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I think that's actually kind of a sharp look there, though, man, because I think a lot of people will run to the window looking for a finish with Joselyne Edwards. But frankly, Priscila, she will be tough to put away on the mat, and she's not just going to give you her neck. So Edwards probably will sit on back control for quite a bit of time. Will probably sit in half guard for quite a bit of time. So if she's going to win, it probably is more likely decision than actually getting a sub. Completely agree with you, though. My girl Zombie is going to need the knockout if she's going to get the win.
Priscila Cachoeira has been submitted 4 times, guys. And Joselyne Edwards, 6 KOs, 4 subs. Joselyne Edwards sub might be sneaky, especially if she does crash into range. What she's going to do is clinch her and take her down.
But man, looking back at like the Jazz fight, that fight could have been stopped in round 1. Like the beating that Priscila took, and it took a Darce choke in round 3 from.
Who was the ref of that fight? Was that Keith Peterson? Who did that one?
Had to be Keith Peterson. But I'm saying the people that have subbed her were Jazz, Miranda Maverick, and Jillian Robertson. Like Valentina Shevchenko was the other one.
True.
Those are the people submitting her. So
who does Maverick finish?
I mean,
she's got some submissions on her record.
She's got some subs on her record. 7 sub wins. She's 7 decisions, 7 subs, like lifetime.
Fair. That's fair. Right.
So I'm just saying, like, I think
I respect that.
I think it's really solid submission grapplers that are actually beating her to her spots. And I don't count Edwards in that group. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's possible. Edwards is improving. So there's a chance, right? But I kind of think TB's got this one smoked out a little bit there, that the sneaky look is actually Edwards by decision rather than Edwards by sub.
Huh. Interesting.
Frank.
I can dig it.
Frank in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. We got some more fun stuff to talk about here. Elijah Smith making his glorious return, taking on Toshiomi Kazama. Toshiomi Kazama. Those names are difficult to pronounce for my white tongue. I apologize. Kazama, let's start with Kazama, man, because I love this kid. 11-4, all team violence. Round 1, right? Like, he is 28 years old. And he comes out looking to make people bleed, and he looks to do it early. He is a road to UFC throwaway. He is 1-2 in the UFC. His last win came over Charlampos Gregorio, which was incredible. Him snatching up that triangle choke as a plus 200 underdog. Fun times. But before that, he got KO'd in round 1 by Garrett Armfield and Rinyat Nakamura. He really just kind of forces a dogfight. He wants to force chaos. He wants to thrive in that chaos. And more often than not, he's not able to. So the skill set isn't quite there. The durability isn't quite there, but he is must-see TV. And against lower-level opponents, he probably goes out there and upsets the apple cart a couple times. Elijah Smith is not the lower-level opponent that you're looking for. 8-1, just 22 years old. This kid is another phenom, man. We've got so many of them right now in the UFC where I feel like we're signing a bunch of these mid-tier bums that are in their like 29 to 32s. And then you've got the select few specials who are 22 to 23 to 24. And these kids are good. Elijah Smith made his UFC debut against my boy Vince Morales. And I was sad. I was very sad because I wanted to bet on Vince Morales, but they refused to give my boy an easy fight. Elijah Smith has a wrestling background. He is very strong. He is very athletic and very, very fast. You can tell his striking is coming along as well. He got a 2-round lead, and then he somehow survived the round 3 submission prop bet on Vince Morales, which that's what he does. This guy drags you into a dogfight, wears you out, makes you tired, and then he looks for a fucking Peruvian necktie or some shit. Like that's Vince Morales' MO these days. So impressive that Smith was able to hold it together, consolidate the top position when he needed to, defend the subs. He actually was close in a couple of them too. So all the things you want to see for Smith kind of checked out at 22 years old. The cardio held together, the fight IQ held together, the defense held together. Like this kid's legit, man. This is an Elijah Smith spot. I'm not going to be stepping in front of this kid. I think he might be part of the next wave. Minus 650, probably a little crazy. Under 1.5 at Pick'em in a Kazama fight. That's more where I'm looking. I think it's going to be a Smith by KO. It's just a matter of when. But another one where I would feel a whole lot more comfortable betting on violence, because Kazama's probably got some tricks up his sleeve that Smith quite hasn't seen. And if you don't come out with your foot on the gas, that's how you lose to someone like Kazama. And Smith is a young kid. I could see him wanting that clean fight. I could see him wanting that, let me get settled in, let me slow down, let me establish my rhythm. And if you never give them that, they don't know how to shift into second gear quickly. So just the little bit of red flags, there's a chance Kazama absolutely has an opportunity early to upset this one, which is why I would lean towards violence. Guru, what do you think?
I wrote in my notes Smith round 1, round 2, and even put in round 1, round 2 KO. I don't know. I just don't necessarily. I guess the Rinya Nakamura fight is just the way that it plays out is so dumb, right? But like I understand losing to him, and the Garrett Armfield losing to Garrett Armfield is not great. Get knocked out in the round 1, not excellent. And while you've seen, when you've seen Elijah Smith and what we've seen from Elijah Smith, I should say, is 2 decisions. Your boy Vince Morales, while he is a lot of things, he's tough as shit. And Aaron Tao, that dude has fucking tattoos on his face. He's the Australian fucking, I forget what their culture is, but it's Maui, right? They're Maui. So crazy toughness. So we didn't finish him. This guy runs forward with his hands down. I just love the way that it's written on Tapology. Garrett Armfield straight right. Rinya Nakamura straight left. I mean, he is not seeing these punches coming. And he does, right? You scroll down a little bit further. Shoji Seato, flying knee. Like, he's just not seeing this shit coming. So I'm going with Elijah Smith by round 1, round 2 knockout.
Okay, TB.
All right, I'm going to offer a ladder to a finish. If you're feeling crazy, Guru, did you talk to them about grandma yet or no?
I actually did not talk to them about grandma.
Would you like to introduce them to grandma, or should I?
I think you're in. You're in.
All right, great. So let's point it this way. Sometimes there's some props that you want to bet or things you want to do on a fight card that you don't really want to risk a lot of your bankroll on. But what you could do, you go over to grandma's house, you go in there, you got to talk to her a little bit. She's going to give you a couple things, whatever. Go to her couch immediately. There's going to be loose change, coins, whatever you can grab, maybe a crumpled up dollar here and there. Grandpa's armchair, you can dig in there, maybe a couple more dollars. He's got the bigger wallet. But at the end of the day, these are the places we're going to make some of these bets. So can I introduce you to a little Elijah Smith and under 0.5 rounds? Like Toshiomi's going to run at him. He's going to run at him. And whether it's a straight right or a straight left or straight into a double leg takedown and mauling him from top position, I think it would be fun to kind of stack like Elijah round 1, round 2, under 1.5, and Elijah and under 0.5. I mean, I'm talking super small though. You just got to find some fun ways to play fights on this card, and I think this is just like it's a squash match. Is this Kazama's 3rd UFC fight? Guess what?
Yep.
See you later after this one, buddy.
No, better. It's his 4th. He's done.
Yeah, I said he had 3 fights. So after this one.
Oh, I thought you said it's his. I thought you said it's his 4th.
No, he's had 3 already.
Yes, he's had 3. It's his 4th. His contract's done.
Exactly. See you later, buddy. Thanks for the highlight reel in the Apex. It's a small cage. It's happening fast. We built a ladder to decision previously in other times, but I'm going to build you a ladder to a fast finish.
Wow. I like it. That is a fun way to look at this one. Yeah, Iceland Farts, apparently the only one in the chat that likes the over. Bold call if you like the over there, man.
You got bigger balls than myself.
Yeah, I wouldn't be looking that way myself with the way these two go. But crazy, absolutely crazy. Fun calls, guys. I think this will be a fun fight as long as it lasts. But I think we're all on the same page that more than likely, yeah, it's probably going to be a Smith finish. Let's see. Next fight, my fight. I can't wait. It's time, everybody. Julius, the Juice Box Walker, returns, and he's taking on Raffael Cerqueira.
Go get me a juice box.
You know who you're talking to?
I'm talking to the juice box guy.
You're crazy.
I'm not crazy. I'm just thirsty.
Why don't you go to hell?
No, you go to hell. While you're there, why don't you grab me a juice box?
It's Juice Box season, boys. So if you have not noticed, our boy Julius Walker, he came on the podcast. He broke down a full card with me one week, and we talked about his fights, and we had a good time with it. He's a really cool guy. He's very intelligent, which is something I value in my MMA fighters. Not all of them are. He's very, very thought-provoking with his approach. He knows he needed to go back and work on some of his basics and things like that. He is 6-1. He's 26 years old. He made his UFC debut on short notice against Alonzo Menifield, and he went to a split decision, you guys, with Alonzo. Now, I've given Alonzo Menifield more than his fair share of shit. I've talked bad on Alonzo Menifield for a long time, but he's now 17, 5, and 1. He is going out there and he's winning against people like Umar Sy and Dustin Jacoby. Like, at this point, it's no longer a fluke. Like, Alonzo Menifield is just winning UFC fights. So the fact that my boy went out there and took that man to a split decision in his UFC debut on short notice with only 6 professional fights, frankly, is extremely impressive. Now, he's got a long, what's the word I'm looking for? Amateur. He's got a long amateur career, so he's got more cage time than somebody you'd expect with his record, which I think is a massive boon for him. He's a very strong grappler. He knows how to clinch well. He knows how to prince people up against the cage. I like his grinding style and his game plan, but he takes people down and he pounds them through the canvas. I absolutely love that about him. And I think if you run that fight back with Walker on a full camp, he absolutely goes out there and wins that fight. I would go right back to the well. I would put my money on him. Again, I actually had 2 units on him, I think, at plus 170. The line moved in my face. I doubled down at plus 200. I thought I was going to get that split decision, boys. I thought that was going to be the turning point. I really felt like I had a home run there in that spot. Well, he actually came on the show and he gave us a little sneak peek about how this fight's going to go himself. So I might as well just let you guys hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
We're fighting August 9th. I'm knocking out Raffael Cerqueira at the Apex. It's going to be sick. It's going to be awesome. Watch it. Lay the house on me. Just go for it. You know what I mean? We're going to take this guy out.
So we're going to take him out, boys. He's 11-2, Raffael Cerqueira, and he is 0-2 to the punch, right? Ibo Aslan, round 1, 50 seconds. Modestus Bokaukas, round 1, 2 minutes. I got to tell you guys, Ibo Aslan turns out to be a bit of a fraud, right? He's got all those show muscles. So if you're getting knocked out by that guy in less than a minute, bad luck. Modestus Bokaukas, he's serviceable, but at the UFC level, he's a decision machine. He doesn't have that kind of power or aggression. He said, this guy doesn't scare me. This guy has nothing for me. And he walked him down and punched him in the face and put him out. That's a horrible look, in my opinion. Cerqueira is not UFC level. Cerqueira does not have a chin. And every single one of his fights from before the UFC, he's fighting in like a high school gymnasium. He throws these weird spinning things that if he doesn't land, he doesn't have a plan B, and we saw that in his first couple of UFC fights against guys that are 1-1 when you've already got 10 professional fights. Yeah, maybe you'll catch that guy with a flying knee. It's absolutely juice box season, boys. Juice box by KO and juice box early. He's going to let everybody know, and he's really going to announce himself as a contender, a future contender on Saturday, in my opinion. TB, what do you like here, man?
What, you mean to tell me that Cerqueira's minus 13 significant striking differential per minute at distance isn't good? Eating 13 more strikes than your opponent for every minute you strike at distance, that's not
optimal.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, it's we've seen it before. It's either up against the cage, waiting, or last fight it was with Kaskas just putting him to sleep. And it always starts with like, oop, he got him. Like he's a little bit hurt. And the next thing you know, it's It doesn't look pretty. I got tempted. I won't lie. I did bad things the last couple times Raffael Cerqueira fought, and he does not have the heart of a lion.
I bet him in his last fight too. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got going on, but the juice box, as long as he comes out here, finds the right place to put the straw, we should be getting a round 1 knockout.
Okay. Guru.
Short and sweet. Julius Walker, round 1 KO. Guy's a fraud. Not Julius Walker, obviously. Raffael Cerqueira. Dude is bad. He's very bad. He's very, very bad. He's bad.
Okay. Well, we will save a little bit of time on that one, everybody. All in on the juice box. Let's freaking go. Next up, we've got Eryk, your boy, Anders, and he's taking on CLD, Christian, Leroy, Duncan. Now, I am a massive fan of Eryk Anders, you guys. I've been in the DMs back and forth with him a couple of times. He's in Arizona. He's come out to Arizona. He's lived here sometimes. He's trained here sometimes. Really cool dude. Put some work in at fight. Ready. Just seems like a real genuine guy. Now, he struggled apparently with some addiction. He was dealing with alcoholism and stuff like that. I want to say he got clean. And since then, he frankly has looked a lot better. When he got signed by the UFC in the first place, the whole thing was he was an A1 college athlete, right? So we're fully expecting him to come in here and just be a monster in the UFC. He's big, he's strong, he's physical, but it's taken a long time for the actual MMA skills to kind of catch up to where they needed to be. So you give him a lower level guy and he'll punk them. You give him somebody who is lower level and he's so big and he's so strong, not a problem. But when you give him somebody that's well-rounded, he really struggled, right? He had those fights where he went to decision with Lyoto Machida and looked incredible, but then he lost to guys like Eliza Theodoro. He lost to Khalil Roundtree and Christoph Jocko. It's been a little up and down ever since his really, really high point in his career. Now, recently, like I said, got it together, doing lots of grappling tournaments, really working on that grappling, got a TKO against Chris Weidman in his last fight and never looked better. Now, I know Chris Weidman is shot at this point. I know Chris Weidman is old goods at this point, but that's still impressive for you to go out there and actually finish the guy in round 2. So cardio checks out, grappling checks out, raw power checks out. I like Eryk Anders just as a fan and generally speaking. So I'm going to be rooting for him here, which means I got to be careful when it comes to my bets because you never want to bet with your heart. You always want to bet with your head. Christian Leroy Duncan, 11-2, 30 years old. He's one of these Cage Warriors bums that we've been talking about, right? The Cage Warriors have fallen on rough times, everybody. If you're from Cage Warriors, you're probably on the short end of the stick recently. There's not many of them that are doing too well right now, but he's looking decent. Okay. They rushed him into his spot against Gregory Hobocop Rodriguez. We found out real quick this guy isn't built for war. I think we're seeing something in the UFC right now where you've got fighters and then you've got athletes. And some of these guys who are athletes are making the leap over to the UFC because why wouldn't you, right? If you're going to compete with guys in the NFL or in the NBA, take a shot at the UFC. There's just not people on your level here. But frankly, guys, here there be monsters, right? Some of these guys want blood and guts. You've got guys that are built like Mike Perry in the UFC that just want to go out there and taste blood. And some of these athletes aren't ready for that. And that's really what that fight between CLD and Gregory Rodriguez felt like to me. It felt like an athlete who is quick, who is fast, who has fast twitch muscles, who knows how to move, going in there against a fighter who wants to punch you in the fucking face. And we found out real quick which one CLD was. Now, he bounced back against Andre Pulayev, who is coming off of a win. That win actually looks pretty good. But again, he doesn't want to get touched. He wants to pick. He wants to poke. He wants to run around the outside. He will TKO you in rounds 2 or 3 if he feels safe. If there's nothing coming back at him, if there's no threat, he will hit you to the body enough times that you'll keel over and pass out. But if you come forward, you pressure this guy, and you manage to corner him, I don't think he's cut from the same cloth as a lot of these UFC fighters. Really, my issue, you guys, is I'm worried at 38 years old that Eryk Anders is too clunky. I think he's too slow. He's too big. And he's going to come forward, and he's going to try, and he's going to do his best. He'll hit harder. There might even be a couple wow moments. He might hit a double leg. He might rock CLD with something big. I just don't know that he's going to be able to follow up on it and actually get that finish. So I think it's going to be Christian Leroy Duncan via 29-28, maybe even split decision. I don't think he's going to cover this price tag, you guys. I'm going to be rooting my ass off for my boy, yo boy, Eryk Anders. But at the end of the day, I think he's just a little too long in the tooth that he won't quite be able to get there. The over 2.5 is minus 175. So if we can get somewhere in the ballpark of even money on Christian Leroy Duncan by decision, I don't think that's a half bad look. Maybe we just go anti-violence here on this one. Real quick though. Former Mexican in the chat. You're banned. You're banned for life, bro. What is this? 3-14 overall record. You must be a Bears fan. We're about to whoop your ass in game 1 of the season, baby. You get out of here with the Viking slander. We don't accept that. We don't take that around here. Vikings are going to run the NFC North, baby, for years to come. Get comfortable. All right. TB, what do you make of this fight, man?
Yeah, I ended up aligning. I wasn't sure if you were going to end up going with the finish, with the decision. I think I straight up like this fight to go the distance because it covers a couple things. CLD hasn't really shown the killer instinct in the UFC. I know he's got 3 knockouts, but at the same time, you know, it took him until round 2 for Tululan. It took him until round 2 for Ribeiro. Todorovic, knee injury. Polyayev takes him to decision. I think in this matchup, I think where CLD decides to disappoint everyone is fighting to a clean decision instead of finding a finish on the retiring Eryk Anders and all this stuff. I'm pretty sure that the other way that this could go is Eryk Anders in his gigantic, meaty frame just shoving CLD into the cage for 9 minutes of the fight. That's the downside of Christian Leroy Duncan in this matchup. That's the only downside. Because otherwise, he's going to win this fight. He's way faster, way better striking. He's a clean technician from distance. It's just in the small octagon, do I trust him at this price tag to parlay him and stay safe from the clinch? That's where I get a little bit worried. Because if there's one thing Eryk Anders is good at, it's just being an absolute brute in physicality terms and cage pushing. Like that. That's kind of his best attribute recently. Chris Weidman gasses out. Dude ends up on bottom, just not at this stage of his career can he deal with that. And Eryk Anders, he's only had a couple finished losses in his career. One by knockout. Oh, Thiago Santos, right? And then the other one is a round 1 sub to Andre Muniz, he snapped off Jacare's arm. Sorry, Guru. But a lot of these things, it's like, that's a high-level grappler. I don't see CLD as a high-level anything when it comes to finishing. I think he's one of those Cage Warriors guys where it plays up better against the level of comp, whereas athleticism stands out. Anders, for what we're talking about, he is a solid enough athlete. He's clunky, but he could take a hit. He's a big boy, and I think this fight goes the distance no matter what. Over 2.5 is minus 175. Find me a sports book with less than minus 140 on fight goes the distance. I'll probably have to play to win a unit, I think. And then CLD, we can't build a ladder because, the fight to start round 3 is not good enough, but a little fight goes the distance and then CLD by decision, something small, but that's where I lean here.
Okay. I agree with you. I'm with you. I like it. And now before I kick it on over to Guru, the chat has let us know, apparently, that Eryk Anders has come out and let us know that this is his retirement fight, boys, which that immediately just completely disqualifies him from betting on him. Man, if there was one person I was ever going to trust, even in their retirement fight, it would have been a guy like Dustin Poirier. And we saw how that went. You cannot bet on these fighters who have one foot in the grave. Just don't do it. Now, again, I'm still going to be rooting my ass off for the guy. And maybe if there's a live bet opportunity, if we see things shifting mid-fight, that's a different story. But pre-flop, can't do it. Guru, what do you make of this one, man?
I think that's actually... I had a feeling that he'd be retiring soon. I think he had said even in his last fight before Chris Weidman, he's like, I got a fight or 2 left. And he's making true on that word. He's got money and interest outside the UFC. Tell me if I'm wrong. Did he not get rocked versus Chris Weidman? Didn't he look kind of not great there for a minute?
In round 1. He did not look great. It really was a tale of 2 fights. In round 1, it looked like he was out-leveled, absolutely. But the second Wyman slowed down, it was like ball rolling downhill. He took over.
It was round 1 versus Jamie Pickett that he got rocked. He's been unbelievably durable throughout his career. And I think in the retirement, he's going to want to get his full 15 minutes out of the fight. So if for TB's right, if we can get a fair price on it, I am interested in the fight going the distance. I feel like all the value is going to be taking CLD inside the distance when it could very well happen that way for a multitude of different reasons. So I think you guys are right. I just not I don't know. I'm just not titillated by this fight in terms of gambling on it. I'd have to really see the lines, but nothing's really jumped out at me.
Okay. Fair enough, boys. Fair enough. Real quick, let me take a break here to go ahead and shout out the sponsors. First and foremost, you guys, Spectation Sports. Last week, Austin Bashi, round 1 sub. If you wanted to know anything about our boy Austin Bashi, the only way you're going to find that is on Spectation Sports. That's where he came from. That's how he got here. And his tape is all on SpectationSports.com. Promo code DieHard will get you 20% off when you sign up. There's events almost every weekend. At this point, we're doing double, triple headers. And this weekend, we've got BTC coming up. So you guys do not want to miss an event. If you've got more room in your heart for MMA, make sure you get signed up at SpectationSports.com, and you might as well get 20% off. Use my promo code, get signed up. Dana White's Contender Series is right around the corner, and I can personally guarantee you that we're going to have a bunch of fighters coming from Spectation programming that are going to be on these Dana White's Contender Series fights. So you're going to need this as a tool for your tape study as well. Get in there, get signed up, let's freaking go. And now, that's it. I said sponsors, but really that's it. We're just going to do Spectation Sports here today. And for whatever reason, the fireball hit a little bit, and I don't know why, but that makes me want more. So we're going to do another shot. Why not? We're already drunk streaming at this point, so let's get into it. Right, boys? What's going on? Cheers. Cheers to the Chronic Combat Conversations boys who are joining me on the show to break down UFC Vegas 109. Oh, God. It's so bad warm. It's delicious.
It's so bad always.
When you get it out of the freezer, it's so when it's ice cold, it's good. When it's warm, all right. Oh, that's terrible. Why did I do that? You make bad decisions when you're tipsy. All right, boys. Next fight up, we've got Miles Johnson. He's taking on Gene Matsumoto. I can be relatively brief on the fight breakdown of this one because Gene Matsumoto is one of these massive prospects. He is one of these young kids who's a beast. 25 years old, 16-1, looks phenomenal. Now, I could say he got his fraud check against Rob Font in his last fight, right? But let's be real. 2 fights into your UFC career, and you're facing Rob freaking Font on short notice, no less. He lost a split decision to Rob Font. Now, I think Rob clearly won that fight. It shouldn't have been a split decision. But the fact that you're even making it competitive against a guy like Rob Font, 2 fights in, on short notice, at 25 years old, yeah, this is one of those kids that we can hit with the red circle and go, he's special. We think he's a little bit special. Gene Matsumoto is a massive prospect. He's very well-rounded. He can level change when he needs to. He's got good submission chops. He's got great Muay Thai striking, that aggressive forward pressure, everything about Gene. I love everything about Gene. My nemesis, on the other hand, Miles Johnson. 15-3, 31 years old, training out of Fortis MMA. He got real butt hurt at me online when we talked about the whole drug situation, right? He had the picograms thing like John Jones does. Guys, there's only one way steroids get into your body. I don't have any fluctuating picograms, right? There's a reason for that. He's got fluctuating picograms. He was a gasser. He had trouble late in fights. And all of a sudden, one day, just magically, he's got 3-round cardio. You guys figure that one out, right? So Miles Johnson is a guy who I've faded for a long, long time. And he has really gotten under my skin because in the fights that he should have wilted, I found out the hard way that he had enhanced cardio, and I lost several bets. So I was really, really frustrated. This man broke me, guys. This man broke my morals. At the end of the day, I'm a gambler and I'm trying to make money. So rather than fading somebody who I think could maybe be faded, we should bet on people. who we know are enhanced. We should bet on people who we know have a little bit more of an advantage than their opponents. And it's not my fault the bookies set a line. Okay, I don't feel good about it, but if you cash at the end of the day, you cash. Take it and run. So I got some of my money back. I bet on him against Douglas Silva de Andrade, and I'm calling it a dub. I'm going to get out of Dodge, right? He just lost to Felipe Lima. He was a big underdog in that spot. Not much we can do, but I think we're on the moonlighting career of Miles Johns. Frankly, guys, I feel like he's always been serviceable, but mid, right? He beats Douglas Silva de Andrade, and that's probably his best win on his entire record. Cody Gibson, Vince Morales, whom I love, but has already been cut by the UFC and been brought back. Anderson Dos Santos, Kevin Natividad. Like, these are his wins. Anytime he takes a step up in competition, anytime he faces anybody who's anywhere near contender level, Mario Bautista, he gets finished in round 2. John Castaneda, he gets finished in round 3. Felipe Lima wasn't able to quite get him out of there, but this is another young kid just getting his feet wet in the UFC that dragged him to a decision and got the win relatively convincingly. The UFC knows what they're doing. This is Gene Matsumoto season, boys. Guru, what do you think?
I absolutely think this is Gene Matsumoto's season. He's going to find his way in a parlay with Joselyne Edwards for certain, and then possibly somebody else to get us to the plus money that we need. Not only do I think Gene Matsumoto wins this fight, but I think you're kind of talking in a way that's really interesting, Clint, and I kind of agree. I think a Gene Matsumoto finish could possibly be on the table. Gene is a bit of a decisionator, right? 9 finishes, seven decisions. But the prices, guys, the prices on this finish is crazy. Fanatics is open for us, TB. So Gene Matsumoto round 2 plus 1050. Gene Matsumoto round 3 plus 1400. I mean, the round 3 especially so interesting. Gene Matsumoto pushes a crazy pace, and if Miles Johns can't get the takedowns, which we don't necessarily expect him to, and he doesn't necessarily always have the best top control, Gene Matsumoto is going to hurt this guy. And at that price, that's why we talk about grandma's couch cushions, right? Because putting a little sprinkle on a 1050 and a 1400, right? Sprinkles don't ruin your night, but they always can make them. So, grandma's couch.
All right. TB, are you couching it? What's going on here?
Yeah, you know the
shout out Catch Warrior podcast.
Yeah, shout out. It's not his grandma, but you know he has a couch too. So if you want to visit there,
okay. Wait, TB. Let me interrupt you. You guys are getting the junk stream that you always wanted. So I apologize first and foremost. My wife, when we were dating, every time we hung out, she always made me come sit. She wanted to watch movies. She wanted to watch TV shows. She wanted to watch the Beverly Hills Wives, whatever bullshit. So now I'm addicted to things like Love Island and The Bachelorette. I blame her fully. But my roommate in college used to make fun of her because that's all she did. We would be working. We both worked from home. We were like computer programmers and artists and things, digital artists, things like that. And then we played video games, right? So we're playing StarCraft online, whatever. So she would just come over and sit on the couch. Like she would just sit there and like watch the two of us while we worked and played games and whatever and watch her shows. So my roommate, shout out my buddy Jared, he always used to tell her that she was doing couch foo. So couch foo has always been a thing in this household. So we're on the subject of the couches. Grandma's Couch, Couch Warrior podcast, couch foo. Shout out my buddy Jared.
Maybe that's what we'll call the act of stealing money from your grandma's couch. We'll call that the art of couch foo.
I like it. I like it.
That's
it from my hand grasshopper.
Yes.
I think we're going to take it and run with Clint.
That's it, man. And the downside is, you get the lipstick on the cheek. She's going to ask you, about how things are going, when she's going to get to be a great grandparent. But the couch is right for the picking for this fight. I totally agree. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to get there with me because, Matsumoto does go to a lot of decisions. And Miles Johns, he typically is a solid survivor unless you rock him on the feet. And Matsumoto, the other thing he'll do, like you guys so aptly talked about, is the pace. He's going to get out there. He's going to throw at an overwhelming pace. And that's where Miles Johns is going to struggle, especially post, drug test and no contest. that's going to be a struggle. Now, Felipe Lima, happy to get top control. You're not going to sub Miles Johnson unless he's hurt, so he doesn't sub him. And then the same thing when he goes and he loses, like he beats Silva de Andrade, like you said, he has the size. He actually has somewhat better cardio, and he's not in danger of being taken down.
100,000 years old.
Exactly. And Cody Gibson, like, he's very happy to be controlled. Like Matsumoto, he's going to work. He's going to make you work. And I don't think Miles Johnson's going to like that. Rob Font, thing about him, survivor, not easily finished, very difficult to get out of there. Brad Katona, you're not finishing that jabroni. But yeah, sub could
Good
be
use of the
lot.
word jabroni.
Thank you. But ultimately, I don't think you're getting those guys out of there. So he didn't. But then Argueta, he did. And guess what? It was by sub. He's got 3 knockouts, 6 submissions. So I'm not going to choose. The under 2.5 is at plus 230. So we don't even have to take a side. Like, just in case Matsumoto goes down, you could just take, like, fight ends round 2, fight ends round 3. The price probably isn't as good. But something I think to at least look into. The under is priced so nicely that I think we don't have to get too greedy. But yeah,
Okay.
It's Matsumoto and by finish.
I like it. I like the bold call of Matsumoto by finish. I think it makes a ton of sense in this spot because he will beat up Miles Johns on the feet. And then on the grappling, he's probably going to have a decent advantage there as well. Shout out my boy Iceland Farts again saying, Clint, are you a reality TV fan? No. What about Survivor or Big Brother? Here's the thing, boys. I am not a reality TV fan. The only reality TV show I've ever done is The Ultimate Fighter. Love The Ultimate Fighter. Does American Ninja Warrior count as reality TV?
I think so. It's a game show, I would say more.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a game show, right? I'm with you on that. So I'm going to say no. The only reality TV I've done is The Ultimate Fighter. However, when you love a woman, you do things that you otherwise wouldn't necessarily do. So I have watched a lot of Love Island. I have watched a lot of The Bachelor. I have just recently, this is our first season watching Big Brother. And I got to tell you, Big Brother's not so bad. I actually kind of like Big Brother. The real money, though, guys, is Traitors. If you haven't seen Traitors, you've got to watch Traitors. That show is fun. It's mind games. The shit they go out and do, like, that's some good shit. Okay, Traitors is where it's at. So no, I'm not a reality fan, but I watch
that. Wait, is that the what's that show? Is that where you have an item and you got to go into the world and trade it up for something else?
No. So Traitors, they get a bunch of people and they put them all in a house. And I don't know if you've ever played something like Salem or like Werewolf, like the at-home games. It's kind of like that, where they pick 2 or 3 people in the group who are the traitors. And if you get to the end of the show where people get eliminated every single week, if the traitors are left over at the end undiscovered, they steal the entire prize pool. And if you vote all the traitors out, then the people who are the faithfuls at the end are the ones who win and they share everything together. So it's a game of like deception. You've got to live with these people in the house and then fool them into believing that you're actually on their team. And then you just rip hundreds of thousands of dollars from them at the end of the show. It's insane. It's really fun.
I've never even
highly
heard of
suggest it. If you haven't seen Traitors, go watch Traitors, guys, and come back. You'll thank me. You'll thank me later. All right. I could do a whole show on Traitors, especially being tipsy, but that's not what we're here for. So let's go ahead and talk instead about C-Rod season. It's Andre, Touchy-Feely, and somehow, boys, the Lord thought to bless me. It is somehow Juicebox Fight Week and C-Rod Fight Week at the same time. I have no idea how this was possible, but it happened. Here we are, and I am forever grateful to the gambling gods. Andre Touchy-Feely, you guys. I feel like we've always talked about him, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. 24-12, 35 years old. He's starting to get up there, starting to get a little long in the tooth, and he looks incredible in round 1. He always does. He always looks amazing in round 1. He almost knocked out Nathaniel Wood in round 1. Like, he looks so good getting started. But then it's like people figure him out. Like maybe he has the same little ticks. Maybe he's got the same little feints that he goes to. And like, it just seems like people figure out what he's doing. As the fight get extended, he can't seem to really bring it home. If he wins, he's like Angela Hill. It's always a split decision. Like he won a split decision against Cub. He won a split decision against Bill Algeo. He won a split decision against Charles Jourdain. Like this guy could be on a 27 fight losing streak right now. Like he just never extends himself if he's not getting that early finish. And the only people who he's getting the early finish on are relatively questionable levels of competition. He's like head kicking people. You know what I mean? So then he's losing to people like Mokweza Costa, which was just like, I'm still not entirely convinced that fight wasn't fixed. The way he got taken down and just kind of like gave up his neck from guard, where it was like, okay, just sit up and have it, buddy. You take it if you want it. It's there. Like that was really weird for a guy who's been grappling his entire life. Now you get knocked out by Dan Ige. I'm not going to hold that against you too much. But he's been really struggling against some of these guys. C-Rod is one of my boys. C-Rod is one of my favorite fighters. And I really think that the talent and the skill of C-Rod is off the charts, you guys. But he doesn't belong at 145 pounds. He was a weight bully at 135, and he struggled to get down to that weight class. And I thought he was going to really get his shit together and make 135. But instead, he said, you know what? I'm too big. I can't do it. I'm going to move up permanently. I'm going to put some muscle on, and then I'm just going to run things at 145. The problem with that is he's not big enough to do that. Now, I will say, if you guys haven't seen, he looks jacked. He does look like he's putting some serious work in. Shout out my boy C-Rod. If you follow him on social media, he very much looks like he has been hitting the weights. So maybe, young kid, maybe he will be filling out. Here, let me just give you guys a peek here. Let me give you a peek. There's my boy. Look at him. So maybe he is filling out at 145 pounds. It's entirely possible. This is not an easy process. You know, John Jones took a year and a half off to move up to heavyweight, right? Did nothing but lift weights the entire time to get there. So it takes time. Filling out in that body frame, it takes time. But he's small. He's short. He's going to be at a severe height and reach disadvantage in this fight. He's a very good wrestler. That's what got him in trouble against Julian Erosa. He actually took Julian down, didn't have a problem getting on top of him, got a little cocky, gave up his neck, got submitted in that spot. Very unfortunate, but Julian Erosa is a massive 145er. So the size discrepancy was kind of a big deal. It's not quite that distinct in this fight, but I do think it will be an issue. If he closes the range on a guy like Andre Fili, he can go to work with his boxing. He can throw hands. He's got good boxing. He's got good combos. And Fili has been knocked out 4 times. So I actually think there's a real chance my boy C-Rod comes in here and finishes this guy. The thing is, I can't in good conscience tell you guys to put your hard-earned money on Christian Rodriguez in the wrong weight class at minus 250. This is the one that kills me, guys. This is the one that kills me. Because I want to support my boy Christian Rodriguez, and I want all of us to bet on Christian Rodriguez, and I want us to make money. I want us to be able to throw money in the air after he cashes a knockout prop for us, and all of our wives and girlfriends flash their titties, and we all have a great night. Like, that's the kind of night I want, with C-Rod hitting the bank for us, right? But I just don't know if that's going to happen because he's too small at 145 pounds. So the heart says C-Rod. The brain says, bro, we got to pump the brakes. We got to stay away. Shout out Liam Picks Fights. What's up, buddy? Good to see you in the chat. Thanks very much for being here. Last week's guest, mind you, who absolutely massacred that card in a good way. Absolutely destroyed it. You guys have to forgive me. I rambled a little bit, and I'm a little bit tipsy. Who did I pick last time? Whose turn is it? Which one of you is supposed to go now?
You've been favoring TV a little bit, but that's all right.
Take it away, Guru.
I for a very chalky card, and it has been very chalky. I'm on the dog here. Andre Fili as a dog is the only way to look at this fight. I mean, you said he's at the wrong weight class, right? But like, it's how much he's at the wrong weight class, right? It's a 4-inch height and a 3-inch reach advantage for Andre Fili. And, anybody saying, listen, Melky Costa just submitted him round 1. Why can't C-Rod do the same. I mean, I think it's a fair concern on some level. I just think that the choke was like really fluky. It was just weird, right? He was in his hometown. Maybe he just felt the pressure. Like I just think it was a weird spot. Andre Fili should have the better boxing, better cardio, and I think that his grappling is underrated. So, especially now coming after being submitted round 1. So, at plus 210, I'm taking a shot on the dog. And what did Dido say? I will go down with this ship. So, I'm ready to go down. That's how it goes.
Okay, Guru's going down. There's a joke there. I'm not going to make it. TB, go for it, buddy. What you got?
Oh boy, yeah,
we're going down to Florida, Uncle June style.
Oh God.
All right, there you go.
Oh yeah, Uncle June scouting MMA. We're getting touchy-feely with the touchy-feely line. I like it. C-Rod, he's a perennial prospect killer. Dog line is where
the
you want to get
O-taker himself.
That's right. But Fili's got plenty of experience in the loss department. Also, we talk about the height and reach and needing to know how to use it. Well, guess what? We're now on to the main card. Some of these guys actually know how to use it. And I think Andre Fili on the feet, he's going to have the advantage in that. I think he's not going to be slower than C-Rod. And I think adding the muscle and putting on more weight, it's not the right idea. I think C-Rod and on some of these chokes, we see him failing to finish guys. He gets these deep attempts, but Weems, okay, I know that happened, but for all the deep submission attempts he's gotten, he doesn't really have long arms to finish it, whereas Mel Costa, he's got those lanky, he's longer, taller, and yeah, it was really bad. It was from a half guard, Andre Fili gets submitted. But there's something about what happened there that I don't think C-Rod can replicate. And he's going to need things to play out where he needs to be the bully. He needs to be the bigger guy, and he needs to be the guy that hits harder. I don't know that he really closes the distance on the feet. I think he's going to be a little bit more plotting than Fili, who has the way better kicks. So, yeah, MMA upside. Glad we made it there. But, it's I think it's going to be Fili time. And I wouldn't be surprised to see C-Rod come out on top. Fili has found ways to lose in lots of matchups, but at this type of price, for his experience, for the guys he's fought, I got to go Fili here. I really think he wins this fight cleanly on the feet.
Okay. That's fair enough, man. And I know, I get it. I see it. Everybody I know and respect and love is all taking the dog shot. Like, Fili might be the mush of the week. I'm just saying, because everybody on Fili, let me switch hats here real quick. Maybe it's the fireball talking, but I think C-Rod gets his KO this week, you guys. You put on that muscle, you close that gap, you give me a guy who's a little bit fragile. I think C-Rod plus 550 by KO. That's gonna find its way in one way or another into my ballpark this week.
Well, Clint, just to be sure, and I had to go feed the cats again. They get dessert. You said that everybody's on Andre Fili?
Oh, everybody I've seen so far.
Well, listen. So here's the thing. One of the best indicators I like to use for who everybody is Tapology. And you look at Tapology and registered picks. C-Rod is coming in at a whopping 81%.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Where Andre Fili is at 19%. And that is something that I like to see when taking a dog, because they're clearly undervalued by the public. And that is who's pouring money into C-Rod parlays early already. So,
and that's a great note, man. That's a great note. And I'll be real here, you guys. If I follow you, guys, I don't follow casuals, right? So if I say everybody's betting him, I'm looking at gamblers. I'm looking at people who put their hard-earned cash on these fights. I'm seeing a lot of Andre Touchy-Feely love out there. That's all I'm saying, but that's definitely a good note that the Tapology votes, people who don't necessarily have money on these fights, who are just picking a side. That's a very good point. It's a very good point. Half the battle, says my boy Guru, spending wisdom like Yoda.
Yoda scouting MMA.
Dan, my guy Dan, I told you, drunk brain, totally forgot to shout you out, my man. The Rob Font, It wasn't a fraud check. It was a vet lesson, my friend, right? He took his veteran lesson against Rob Font. You guys, we have 3 fights. We have 3 fights left. Do I do one more shot? Do we do another shot for the main and the co-main? I'll let the chat decide. Hit the like button. Give me shots, give me fireballs, give me yeses in the chat. Let me know if we need to get after it or not for this next one. Next fight up, Iasmin Lucindo takes on Angie Overkill Hill, and I've still got to work on my overkill from the Halo days back in the day. Oh man, make me sad. The Halo games are old. Oh, yeah, right. You nailed it. I love it. Angela Hill, you guys, is a national treasure. She's amazing. She's such a great follow. If you follow her on Instagram or anything like that, she's always making just hilarious videos. She's also tough as nails. She's got great Muay Thai. She's got a good gas tank. And she's one of these late bloomers where like her skill level is actually increasing. Even though she's like 38 years old right now, she's discovering her grappling late in life and adding new wrinkles to her game, even though she really shouldn't be at this stage of her career. She is 18-14, which is a brutal record. She's one of the best 500 rated fighters you'll ever see. At 40 years old, I still think Angie Hill has got some gas in the tank. She is 3-2 in her last 5 fights, and her only losses come to Mackenzie Dern and Tabitha Ricci, who are both blue chip prospects, contenders, high level, high caliber fighters. If you're not on that level, Angie Hill is beating you. She's also the only woman who I've ever seen take flush shots from Amanda Lemos and say, thanks, let's go again. Like, she's built like a brick. She has absolutely no durability issues whatsoever. She will keep coming forward. She will fight for your money. Now, Iasmin Lucindo, 17-6-0, is just 23 years old. Unreal to have more than 20 professional MMA fights at just 23 years old. She is special. She is one of the fighters we talked about earlier on the show, frankly, one of these fighters who just has so much opportunity to be amazing. She had a 4-fight win streak snapped in her last fight by none other than Amanda Lemos. And it was because, you guys, the Achilles heel of this girl, Iasmin Lucindo, she doesn't do enough from her top position. Now, I actually called the upset with Amanda Lemos, but I was not ballsy enough to put my money where my mouth was and actually bet it. I said to stay away from this one, to be careful, because this is a massive leap up in competition. So I couldn't quite get there with my cash, but I did say I thought that Amanda Lemos was going to win that fight. And sure enough, the reversals from Iasmin were not enough. The top time where she's not active enough became a problem. The referees stood them up a couple of different times. She solidifies these top positions, and then she just hangs on for dear life. And if she can't quite get to a sub, she doesn't do enough ground and pound. She doesn't advance position, and she could lose that spot. She barely squeaked on by Marina Rodriguez. So we are seeing Iasmin learn what it means to be a contender in the UFC in front of our very eyes. Now she's getting a bit of a step down in competition, and guys, Hill went tooth and nail with Lemos. So this is not some crazy step down in competition. This is like a little break, right? Maybe a little bit less power coming back your way, but it's not a massive drop off. Lucindo is minus 190 as a favorite, plus 160 the comeback on Angie Hill. I mean, about the only thing I can guarantee is that this fight's going over. The over 2.5 is minus 720, you guys. Ridiculous price tag on the over here in this spot. I do think Iasmin Lucindo wins this fight. I do think Angie Hill comes out and makes it a dogfight. That's all I got for you. Like, Angie Hill is not going away anytime soon. She's going to come out and fight for your money. She's going to put on a show. I think Iasmin will do just enough to go ahead and get the dub, but I can't guarantee it. And at this price tag, not a chance. So Lucindo over, I'm probably not betting this one. I will say, though, I got just enough love in the chat that I think I'm going to do another shot. TB, what are you doing here?
Yeah, so can I interest you in a magic carpet ride, Iasmin and Aladdin style? Because I think Angela Hill is going to have a very difficult time the more this fight gets into the clinch and potential wrestling situations. Oh, baby. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please, I wish you would have let me know. I would have got drunk with you. You didn't let me know.
I'll be
Send
honest
me a
with you.
DM.
It wasn't planned. Like we were
Yeah.
supposed. I was paying up my 2 shots with my boy Ethan Hershey. I owed him. That was it. That's all it was supposed to be. But I started having fun, and you
We
guys
love
are
that.
such a good hang,
I
and the
love that.
fireball is working. So like, I don't know. I mean, it's been a long time since we've done a drunk stream. So here we go. We're
Excellent.
getting after it. Mushroom MMA in the house. What's up, buddy?
Let's go. Yeah, so ultimately, I think, Iasmin, it's going to come down to, like, the striking is going to be close. Angie might put out more volume early, but she tends to slow down. Even against Ketlin Souza, round 3 is her worst round. And Lucindo, she has her best round in round 3 versus Amanda Lemos. I think
She looked terrible. She looked so bad.
Yeah, so she loses
looked
round 1 and 2 by getting taken down by the way more physical fighter in Amanda Lemos. Round 3, she gets the takedown and gets 4 minutes of control. It all comes down to lesson learned. Lemos, she's the Gabby Fernandez type of body type. Angela Hill, she's a little bit of a step down in physicality. She does have a little bit better cardio than Lemos, but she doesn't have as good of wrestling. She's not just going to top time Lucindo for 7 minutes and 58 seconds over the first 10 minutes of the fight. There was only 2 minutes spent at distance. I'm sorry, 3 minutes spent at distance in the whole matchup. If that happens here in this fight with Angela Hill, Iasmin Lucindo is probably winning a 30-27. Like, I truly think she learned something in that fight. She's probably going to come out here a little bit more physical and getting her own takedown success early. And if it is from distance, I think it's a close fight. If it goes to a wrestling match, clear advantage, Lucindo. What did we get? What's the price, Guru? How about you go ahead?
We played minus. Oh, geez. Why didn't I have that ready for us here? We what the fudge? We paid, here it is, minus 170. We got in at I paid 3.5 units on minus 170. So to win 3. Or win 2, actually. I apologize. I'm terrible at math. So 3.5 units to win 2 on Iasmin Lucindo at minus 170.
Very nice.
I really feel that Angela Hill looks old. She looked first off, Caitlin Souza, we just watched her. She's terrible.
She's not.
So she looked she's really bad, guys. Caitlin Souza is really bad. So Angela Hill looks stuck in the mud, slow. And the cardio's now not there. The thing that made her great, that she could just go and go and go.
There's a reason why she lost the split decision. She doesn't have great cardio.
She's not. I mean, but she always threw high enough output and landed damage. Like, she just was a solid. Like, I agreed with Clint's sentiment. I mean, she may be one of the best 500 fighters we've ever seen. Like, the talent was there, and she started MMA late. Her whole story is fantastic. But she's cooked, guys. It's like she's not the same. You mentioned the Amanda Lemos fight. That fight is 4 years ago. It's, the Apex time goes crazy, but she's 40 years old. And Iasmin Lucindo is 23. It is a 17-year age difference. It's a huge problem. And Lucindo has the reach advantage. Like, when does that happen? She's small. So I like Lucindo here. She's going to be faster too. I like Lucindo.
Okay. We are all lining up on the young Lucindo side. And guys, I swear, we summoned Couch Warrior because of the couch jokes that we were making earlier. It was like saying Beetlejuice. We said couch too many times. And then he pops up in the chat shockingly.
Let's go.
I got to tell you, where you at? Where'd you go? The Tussle Talk saying, yeah, another shot. Let's Keith Peterson it. I love it. With the old cigarettes and alcohol breath. I love it. And I'm sorry, I lost you. There we go. Dylan says, are you going to be fucked up once you stand up? You underestimate me, son. I've had a whole lot more alcohol than this in my life. It's hitting me hard because I'm on an empty stomach right now, but I can absolutely handle myself. I'll be okay. Guys, it's time for the co-main event. 880 live viewers across all the platforms here. You guys, do us a favor, hit that like button. Make sure you're following the Chronic Combat Boys and get subscribed on the channel. Steve Erceg takes on O'Day Osbourne. Oh, baby. I'm going to be sad at the end of this fight no matter what. I love both Steve and Ode. Ode is a sad story, you guys. He really is, because I find myself fading him at every opportunity I've got. And it's unfortunate. He's kind of a size bully at this weight class. He's very long and he's very athletic. He's incredibly explosive, but he's 13-8. And now he's 33 years old, so he's kind of getting past his prime. He basically saved his UFC career in his last fight by ruining my night when he beat up Luis Garuli. I really thought Luis Garuli was going to mop the floor with him, but he found a way to go ahead and get that win. And then before that, the Charles Johnson split decision, his best win, mind you. The only reason he got that split decision win is because he took the entire 5 minutes on a soft cup shot to go ahead and take a break, catch his breath, and come back in that fight. He should be on a 7-fight losing streak, as far as I'm concerned. Like that's what we're dealing with here with Ode Osbourne. You've always got to watch the guy in round 1. He's very fast. He's very powerful. He's very explosive. And the counters, if he can time you like he did Zaruk Arashev back in the day, very, very sharp. So Steve's got to watch his head, because the one thing we've seen recently from Steve is getting KO'd flat by Kai Kara France. Now, Ode doesn't have quite the power of Kai Kara France, but it can't be that far off. This guy hits like a truck. The fall from grace from Steve Erceg, you guys, must be studied. It's incredible what happened to this poor boy. He got rushed into the UFC, hyped up prospect. They had him circled for Dana White's Contender Series. COVID happened, so they brought him straight into the organization instead. He rattles off a bunch of wins, looks phenomenal, and he is 5 minutes away from having gold wrapped around his waist. This guy went 25 minutes with the best fighter 125 has ever seen in Alexandre Pantoja in what was people thinking a fluke title shot opportunity. He pushed Pantoja to the brink. He made one mistake in round 5 that cost him gold. Could you imagine the alternative timeline we could be living in, where Steve Erceg was the 125-pound UFC champion? Instead, he had to take a number 1 contenders fight in his next fight, and he got sparked by Kai Kara France. Tough times, man. And then he loses a decision to Brandon Moreno, which you really can't take any L from. Brandon Moreno is one of the GOATs of this weight class. He just got outstruck that night. He's getting a big step down here against Ode Osbourne. He's a big, big favorite in this spot. The only concern I have is that tall man's defense. Kai Kara France smoked him with a power shot, with beautiful timing. And I think Ode Osbourne stands a chance to do the same thing. Now, here's the hot take, you guys. Now, it's not a hot take that the -400, -500 guy wins the fight, right? Like, Astro Boy gets back on track on Saturday. I think he submits him. The underrated piece of Steve Erceg's game has always been his grappling. People don't realize how good this guy is on the mat. So you're telling me you've got 3 L's in a row, and they're giving you this round 1 or bust power puncher? Bitch, double leg. Like, take him down, Steve. If Steve Erceg puts that BJJ black belt to work, puts this guy on his back, that's how you cook one Ode Osbourne. I mean, I will never forget the Ronaldo Rodriguez fight where he had this guy dead to rights. Lazy Boy was almost out of there in round 1. Hits a double leg, makes Ode work just a little bit, and then that ball starts rolling downhill. That's how it works. So if Astro Boy knows what's up, he's going to take this guy down. He's going to work him on the mat. And I actually think he will find his way to a submission. I need to find the numbers. I don't know if they have them up even yet over on Bet Online. Let me look. Buy in just a couple of seconds here. Okay, so they do not have the props, but
Fanatics has the props up.
Okay,
for us.
What do we got? What are we looking at?
So unfortunately, Steve Erceg has 6 career subs in the 2 KOs, so they're a little on to that.
Damn
so
it.
they got the sub at +165. The KO is +310.
Man, that's fucked up. All right. Well, regardless, getting a minus 500 favorite as a plus 160 prop, that still works for me. So I'll still say the sub. I don't care. That's probably the best way to go ahead and play this fight. But yeah, man, I think Astro Boy gets back on track. I think he submits Ode Osbourne, and bad price be damned. That's the way I'm looking.
Hopefully another book gives you at least plus 200, because plus 165 on a sub is tough, but it can work. Ask Austin Bashley last week. It was plus 125 or whatever. I didn't play it, and he cashed it. Well, I think that was the 1-2 sub. But whatever.
Maybe DraftKings is asleep at the wheel. Like, right? Give me an okay number, man. Give me 2-1.
Right. Exactly. I'm praying for it. Yeah. I mean, Steven Erceg. I mean, they've booked him 3 fights. And all 3 of them are winnable get right spots. Alex Perez, Hyuk Sung Park, and now Ode Osbourne. Ode is not very. I mean, he's 5-6 throughout the UFC. It's been made. We've made some decent money fading him, so I think that's possible. There could be more money to be made here. I'm not like this fight has kind of bothered me in terms of how I necessarily see it playing out, because I think Steven Erceg could knock him out if Ode puts himself in a bad spot. I think that, or even if he hurts Steve and rushes forward and then gets knocked out, I think Steve could club and sub him, like you're saying, Clint, catch him in that regard. Or I could just see it being a decision too, because it's flyweight, and why the fuck not? So I don't really love it, but if Erceg could find his way into the parlay, but to your point, I've always his chin had always been good, but his defense was always suspect with his hands down and just rubber chinning it, Homer Simpsoning it. But the truth is Kai cracked it, and Ode is not necessarily known for his power, but he's just long. So I could just see him being stupid. So I guess you could kind of hedge out with an Ode round 1 KO, because he's got 5 KOs and 4 in round 1. But I think we could maybe add Erceg to the parlay of Edwards and who was the other one we said, TV?
Matsumoto.
Exactly. So I think that's safe, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be plus money, boys.
Yeah, I mean, can we hold the controller for Steve Erceg and have him wrestle? Is that an option for this fight? Because if I'm not
that worried like that about him on the feet, but no, I don't want him to. If it's a 15-minute striking affair, I don't love that. I would expect some level of wrestle grappling at some point, but I'm not oh my God, you better start wrestling right now.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to do my best to take it just one step further and rather quickly.
Please.
All of Ode Osbourne's finished losses, at least in the UFC, round 1, round 1, round 1, round 2, that's Almabayev, round 1. And Almabayev takes time with his food, right? Most guys are getting decisionated. But 4 out of 5 finish losses in the UFC come in round 1. Steven, did you come ready to fight? That's my question, because I'm interested in the round 1 prop. Maybe round 1, round 2, just to be safe. But, yeah, I think he can get it done. Ode, eminently finishable. That's the book. So I think it happens.
So after what we just saw, though, Erceg was getting ready for Hyung-Sung Park, who failed miserably. Tetsuro Taira, badass.
Very nice.
How did you guys think that fight went?
I thought that Erceg Park is even less of a threat power-wise, and I think Erceg could have just easily won it from distance, on the feet, landing more volume with better cardio. And he could have wrestled too. But yeah, I think it was a clear get right spot for Jimmy Neutron.
Okay. Same thing for you, Guru?
Yeah, I do. I agree. Jimmy Neutron.
That's
I thought so too. I thought they were finally throwing Steve a bit of a bone, because they don't want to cut this guy. They don't want Steve to go 0-4. He's too good. He's too fun. I think they want to get him a win, get him on track a little bit so he can hang around for a bit.
Just so you guys know, that parlay for us here, we get that on MGM. Edwards, Matsumoto, Erceg plus 107. But DraftKings right now says minus 132.
Oh God.
So moves need to be made.
Yeah, that's fair, man. I've always noticed a little hint for the people. MGM is a little slow updating their lines.
Whoa.
So if you have access to MGM, if you see a bomb drop, DraftKings, those selfish sons of bitches, they're like, move that line, boys. Like, they are ready to err on the side of moving. They will take all the value away immediately, and MGM's ready to let it sit for 6 hours before they budge. So if you see a big market move, always check MGM. That number might be just a little bit better if you check MGM.
What I will say, Guru, the reason for that, though, is that a lot of books actually don't even have the Steve Erceg fight at the moment. So DraftKings doesn't have it. It's an altered leg. ESPN doesn't have it. Caesars doesn't have it. Bet365 does not even have the line. But yes, at the moment, MGM's got it, and they do have the best price.
Oh, that makes sense then. So then, no, we got to hold off. I didn't even realize it. I didn't realize it's cooking it without the fight. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, it's doing their best. There is no available line.
All right, boys.
Take me to
it is main event time. We got about 900 live viewers right now. Thank you, each and every one of you, for tuning into the show. These are the boys from Chronic Combat Conversations, the Guru and TB. Make sure you give them a follow individually, and make sure you're checking out Chronic Combat. They smashed UFC Vegas 108. Hopefully we will do the same at UFC Vegas 109, but make sure you hit that like button. Share the show out if you're enjoying this. And I mean, come on, I'm already like 6 shots deep at this point. You guys better be enjoying this. Hit the like button, get subscribed, and it's main event time. We are talking about Roman Dolidze taking on Anthony Hernandez. We've got Mr. Steal Your Girl and Fluffy going at it in the main event of UFC Vegas 109, guys. This fight is very, very easy for me. It's unfortunate because when these fights happen, the main event is always the most hyped. Usually there's the least to talk about because we know the most about these fighters, right? Like Roman Dolidze is a bully. He's made out of iron. He's a Georgian warrior. Like, this guy is tough to finish. This guy hits really hard. He's a BJJ black belt, but he's old, man. He's slow. He's plodding. If you want to stand right in front of him like Marvin Vettori did, he'll bounce your head off the canvas. No problem. If you feel like playing leg locks with him, he will rip your knee apart. No problem. Sometimes he does these really freak things where he catches your leg like he did against Jack Hermanson, pins you down, and you can't get away from him. There is no uncle here. He will absolutely smash you. No problem. But if he doesn't get one of those weird situations, I can't tell you how many times I've seen Roman Dolidze accept bottom position and fish for subs and just kind of stand there and stare at you, waiting for his moment to throw because he wants to knock you out. But you're too quick. He can't quite catch you. Like, it's the same thing over and over and over again. I really feel like Roman Dolidze is a bully who will never make contender circle, man. He beat up Marvin Vettori because Marvin will stand right in front of you. He beat up Kevin Holland because Kevin Holland is a 170-pounder who can't grapple. He beat up Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith is sitting behind a desk somewhere now doing the same job as me. Like, that's his 3-fight win streak that he's on. Nasruddin Imavov? No. Lost that one. Before Marvin Vettori was busted back in 2023, he lost that one too. Before that, he fought Chinny Phil Hawes, Chinny Kyle Dawkins. Like, these guys that are low on durability get cracked by him, but the guys who are not, he can't quite finish. So I think the power of Roman Dolidze is a little bit overstated. Anthony Hernandez, 14-2, 31 years old, in his prime. This guy has weaponized cardio. He refuses to stop coming forward, and we've seen him get clipped before. He's been finished in 2 of his losses, once by sub, once by knockout. The KO one was a little concerning because it was Kevin Holland and it was like a knee to the body. So it was like, oh man, like, you probably shouldn't get knee to your abs and call it a day, right? Like, you wouldn't think that would end up very well for him, but he's rattled off so many wins since then. He's been sensational, man. He just melts people with his nonstop cardio. This fight is going to be a tale of two. In the beginning, While Roman Dolidze is fresh, it's going to be very, very dangerous for Anthony Hernandez. He's going to have a hard time level changing. He's going to have a hard time closing the distance. Hell, he might get clipped. He might get KO'd. That's the threat here. But if he survives round 1, in round 2, Roman's going to slow down a little bit. And we've seen this guy just accept bottom. We've seen him go, you know what? I'll roll for heel hooks off my back. You go ahead and shoot the takedown. I'll let you. Like, he just kind of concedes these positions. So I think eventually Anthony Hernandez is going to take over this fight. The question is, how does he get this done? Because nobody's ever finished Roman Dolidze. We've seen him tired a couple of times, but he's never gotten finished. This is a 5-round main event, you guys. He fought 5 rounds with Marvin Vettori, but we know Marvin Vettori couldn't punch his way out of a paper bag. I made the argument in his last fight for him getting a KO, but even against the guy who I questioned the durability on, he still couldn't hurt that guy with his hands. That's Marvin Vettori. Fluffy's a different animal. When he gets you tired, when he smells blood in the water, he starts throwing elbows. He starts looking for necks. He will absolutely put you through the ringer. And even against a guy like Michel Pereira, who's a big dude with a lot of muscle, he got him out of there in round 5 because eventually he was just too tired to do anything. I think we look for Roman Dolidze to get his first ever inside the distance loss. I think Fluffy will do the same thing to Roman Dolidze that he did in that fight against Michel Pereira. I think it's going to be late, you guys. I think it'll be round 4 or round 5. Maybe it's a decision. Maybe Roman can hang on there and keep the pride of the Georgians alive here by not getting finished. But I think Fluffy is just hell on wheels. And once you accept bottom position, once you concede that you're going to be underneath Fluffy Hernandez, it's just a matter of time. I don't think any human being can survive being underneath Alexander Hernandez for more than a round. So I'm going to say round 4, round 5. And I do think he submits Roman Dolidze because this guy's built out of muscle. He's big, he's strong, and we've seen him tired before. And folks, what do tired people do? They tap. I got Fluffy Hernandez by submission, round 4, round 5. TB, main event time, buddy. What do you got here?
All right. Yeah, right. Isn't that confusing? So it
is very difficult.
It is, but ultimately, I think in this matchup, this is a prime opportunity to do a couple of things. This is the same game parlay madness spot of a lifetime, and it's also the live betting spot of a lifetime because Fluffy tends to take a few before he really gets going. If you wanted to play money line, I would beg you to wait about 1 minute and 45 seconds into the fight. Roman's landed a couple body kicks. He lands a couple like big head strikes. Fluffy fails on the first takedown attempt. Line gets to like minus 200, minus 160. That's the moment. That's your only chance. It might never happen, but that's when you get in on the money line. Now, before the fight, what do you want to do? Fluffy's landing 3 takedowns. It's happening. Roman has terrible takedown defense, like 33%. He's also got elite grappling, high-level grappling. The type of scrambles and leg locks and things he goes for, he is going to force Fluffy to get up and reshoot. I think you could ladder out the takedown prop for Fluffy to like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, it's going to, like Lynn said, I think it takes until late. I think you could get Fluffy 3+ takedowns over 2.5 rounds at solid plus money. That would be my play. If you have a good book to do that. And if you don't, and you have DraftKings, something like that, I think it's the round 3, 4, 5 sub prop.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm glad we agree on that, man. And I love the live bet look. Guru, buddy, take us home. What do you like here in the main event?
I've never heard TB cook a play like that, so that was very special for your podcast. He doesn't even click this for our fucking podcast.
I'm thinking things are moving early this week. You better look out.
I'm nervous, is what I am. Clint, I suppose that Brendan Allen is not human because you said nobody could survive under Fluffy Hernandez for that long, and he had 10 minutes of control time in that fight, and he survived.
I still can't figure out fucking Brendan Allen, man. Some days he's chinny, some days he's gassy, some days he can go with Fluffy for 25. I don't fucking know.
Some days
Brendan
I'm
Allen's an
gassy, too.
enigma.
Yes, he absolutely is. Honestly, in this fight, I wrote down in my notes here, I have 4-5 decision at Fluffy Hernandez written down. And my grandma's couch cushion I have written down is what the 3-4-5 submission that TB stole. So
I didn't even know you wrote that. That's incredible. I literally I did not look.
It's okay.
That's
I'm sure. It's all right. No, and so that's kind of how I feel. The other side of that coin is that just like the middleweights and especially the main events, they love to go the distance, and fight going the distance here at plus 170 or plus 180 is like, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Roman Dolidze, while tired, is a fantastic jiu-jitsu player, right? So like submitting him is not going to be easy. And you just saw in the last fight, Fluffy Hernandez is not even credited with a submission attempt. The only one credited with a submission attempt in that fight is Brendan Allen. So he's much more willing to stay safe and go for control over risking it for the biscuit. So I kind of feel like fight going to disappointment in the apex should always be something you look to try to bet. So this fight being it's 17 minutes of control time for Fluffy Hernandez would not exactly be the most surprising thing, to TB's point about Roman Dolidze's terrible takedown defense. So 4-5 decision makes sense to me because in a 3-round fight, I don't think anybody would be thinking it'd be a finish.
I actually love that, man. 4-5 decision is probably the best bet that you can find, because it's either going to be a Roman KO or we're just testing this man's chin, right? We're testing his cardio. We're seeing if he can survive. 4-5 decision sounds like a beautiful prop to bring the price down on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. And guys, I got to tell you, so looking back over my card, I always do my Link Memorial Dog of the Week, and I didn't have one this week because this is chalk city, bitch. Like we are talking massive lines, parlay liability. It's all day, every day here on this particular card, but somebody's shitting the bed this week. You know it's going to happen. There's no way we sweep 12, 14 fights, pure favorites. So if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be Priscila Cachoeira, it's going to be Toshiomi Kazama, or potentially Angie Hill. Those would be the dogs I'm looking at. I haven't chosen a dog of the week this week. I hate this week, you guys. You know me, I'm a dog hunter. I look for value, and none of these favorites feel like they're going to lose to me. Truly, none of them really. Eryk Anders, maybe. Like, that's the other one, right? Like, maybe. But I really think all the favorites come home this week. So it's going to be a matter of the landmine. When you're parlaying up this week, watch out for that one leg that you know is absolutely going to mess you up for the night. Boys, thank you so much for joining me to break down UFC Vegas 109. Appreciate the hell out of both of you guys being here. If you've got anything to promote, if you want to tell the people about your show, where they can go to support you and find more of your content and your bong rips and your wine, please tell them where they can find Grandma's Couch.
Honestly, Clint, thank you so much for having us. We'll come back anytime you'll have us. We really had a wonderful time. Love talking fights. Guys, please, we're desperately trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I think we deserve it. I think we're good.
You do. You deserve it.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. We have fantastic guests on every single week. We go live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Me, TB, special guests, making money, best guests. Follow my unbelievable co-host, TB Scouting MMA, over on Twitter, Instagram, Picket, Tapology, and Bet MMA. And you can follow me, the Guru Scouting MMA, over on Twitter, Picket, Instagram, Tapology, Verdict, and Bet MMA.
You'll love to see it. These guys are awesome, everybody. They're some of the good ones. You guys know the only ones that come on the podcast are good ones. So be sure to check them out. Be sure to support them. Goes a long way, helps us all out. And thank you all very much for being here. We got over 2 hours of awesome in-depth content for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please hit the like button on your way out the door. We're still rebuilding here at the Die Hard MMA podcast. So please get locked in, get subscribed here on the show. Love you guys to death. And just so you guys know, Grandpa update, we had a bit of a rough day yesterday. Not great. Gonna check into that, see what that's all about. He's doing well overall in rehab, hoping that by the end of the week, maybe he gets released. So fingers crossed. Appreciate all the love and all the prayers and all the support that's coming from you guys. So really, really appreciate that coming from each and every one of you guys. It means an absolute truck ton. I'm gonna continue to probably lay low, probably play it safe, probably not have a ton of action, especially while I'm dealing with all this grandpa bullshit. But I'm going to continue to bring you the most entertaining and fun podcast I possibly can. So stay tuned in. Get subscribed if you haven't already, you guys. Good luck on all of your degenerate action. And I just want to leave you guys with a thought today. Okay? Sometimes people will get upset if you distance yourself. Sometimes people will get upset if you remove them from your circle. But I just want you guys to know that it's okay to fight for yourself. It's okay to advocate for yourself, your own mental health, your own peace. And if there's somebody in your life who is not bringing that to you, it's okay for you to take a step back from them. You don't owe people anything. And it's all right for you to make sure that you are in a position to succeed. If someone's bringing you down, don't hesitate to take a step back. You are who you surround yourself with. And that's why my guests on this podcast are some of the best people in the game, because you only want people uplifting you. So be sure to be careful who you let into your life, who you let close to your heart. Make sure you're protecting yourself. Find peace. Relax your damn jaw. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders go. We're all stressed the fuck out. It's okay to take a minute for yourself. I hope you have a great week. Let's roll, everybody.